$11.95? You can't afford $11.95? What's your problem?
Kool-Aid girl, my only love. Kool-Aid girl, my only love. Juice on your lip and it's dripping on your hips. Put my girl in jail for so long. She did nothing wrong. I want you free and I'm begging to the skies above. Kool-Aid girl, my only, yeah, Kool-Aid girl, my only love. If I was that guy from the farming website, I'll treat you right, clap those cheeks all night. I would change your life, no more OnlyFans. I will be your only man. Free Kool-Aid for life, only for $11.95. No more living in a van. We're going on vacation in Japan, and you can use my hot tub. Kool-Aid girl, my only, Kool-Aid girl, my only love. Juice on your lip and it's dripping on your hips. Put my girl in jail for so long. She did nothing wrong. I want you free and I'm begging to the skies above. Kool-Aid girl, my only, Kool-Aid girl, my only. Juice on your lip and it's dripping on your hips. Put my girl in jail for so long. She did nothing wrong. I want you free and I'm begging to the skies above. Kool-Aid girl, my only, Kool-Aid girl, my only. Kool-Aid girl, my only love. Kool-Aid girl, my only love.
And you know what this reminds me of? When I worked at the helicopter company, helicopter support. It 1,000,000% reminds me of that. American Whoa. Band, 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 band. Gone forever. Band, 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 band. Gone forever. Band, 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 band. Gone forever. Band, 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 band. I worked for a major company. A helicopter company. It's called Aftermarket Support for Helicopters. Okay? They're flying around. Things are breaking down. Parts are wearing out. We're a one-stop shop for helicopters. So I was told, we see potential for you. You're better than just working customer support. Revamp the business from ground up. You can map it out and find bottlenecks and find shortcomings and find helicopters so that our company runs more efficiently. Okay? So I busted my ass, I worked my ass off, I did double work, never got paid for it. And you say, oh, it's part of the process, man, it's just part of corporate America. Fuck you. Band, 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 band. Gone forever. Band, 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 band. Gone forever. Band, 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 band. Gone forever. Band, 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 band. It happened to me. Fuck you. Why don't you listen to me? You don't know shit. It happened to me. So shut the fuck up. Why don't you listen to me? Because no one cares. It happened to me. Fuck you. Why don't you listen to me? You don't know shit. It happened to me. So shut the fuck up. Why don't you listen to me? Cause no one cares. It happened to me. Fuck you. Why don't you listen to me? You don't know shit. It happened to me. So shut the fuck up. Why Why don't you listen to me? Because no one cares.
Pimp, we get a big ups to Darcy DeFlo and add a song to the playlist. No.
What is up, everyone? Hello, hello, and welcome. Only mic was on. It's been on the whole time, huh? I don't even know. Hello, hello, hello. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up.
Turn up my headphones. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. What's up, Jamie?
Yo, yo,
Good to see you here today. Are you ready for this?
yo, yo.
You know what time it is. Yes, Jay. It's time to go. Shout out to all my niggas from Guadalajara, Acapulco. I'm cruising in my blue Corolla. I need that money to be a high roller. Trapped and made a controller. She's crying downstairs, so I have to console her.
Swimsuit
Model
with
and
eating disorder.
spent $200 on a DoorDash order. Yo, just a fucking crook with a fucking crooked jaw, false flagging out channel with my puppy dog. I committed fraud, and I got low T's. I'm a low T god. False flagging, mundane maggot. Phil's fat, Phil's a faggot, Phil's a loser, Phil's a beggar. Arnold, Phil's a nigger, right? How do you say? Brunel's a nigger, right? Very nice. All right. Let us continue. It's 3 a.m. and I can't sleep. I got 2 big bills coming next week. One more chance to save the best streak. I'm going full mask off. It's not that deep. It's 3 a.m. and I can't sleep. I got 2 big bills coming next week. One more chance left to blow. You ready? 8 time go. 8 time flow. Whoa. They thought I fell off. No. Like a prime D rose, I'd be dunking on these hoes, turn you into T-bar, striking a T-pose. So let me tell you now what the story is. They call me DSP.
Notorious.
I'm cruising and wrenching, fast and furious, with my homie Pastor Eric Miller.
He's quite curious. They don't have nearly what it takes to be a man. And since I took their manhood, that's mine now, so I ain't giving it back.
My trolls are always watching me, waiting for another disaster stream. They won't even give me a piece of peace or like a whole fucking team locking onto my stream like a detractor bee. And I can't get rid of them. I'm sober. I'm losing my mind. And I'm losing supporters. Detractors are bending me over. Just another knot in this Ludwig world order. And now I'm seeing so much clearer as I sit here staring into Dark Dave's mirror and all of my fears and all that I see. The raw DSP. Bottom leader, cult leader. It's 3 a.m. and I still can't sleep. I guess this is all I will ever be. This is just how time flows. Until it time go.
It's gonna take years of effort to try to dig myself out of this fucking hole. It really is. And it sucks. I hope that someday I'll get out of it. I don't know if I ever will. I may be living month to month, paycheck to paycheck, begging for fucking tips and shit on stream for the rest of my life.
Like, it's been tough. You know, my life has been tough over the last decade. Yeah. You know, my life has been tough over the last decade. Yeah.
You know, my life has been tough over the last decade.
My mic was muted the whole time, huh? Hello. Well, welcome back to the Saturday morning Atlas style stream. I really appreciate all of you guys showing up. The final song couldn't have said it better. It time indeed go. And as you guys know, we always start with the Atlas style segments over here. And I believe my microphone should sound better today. Hopefully, all of my drivers and audio settings didn't load last time, so I sounded like a goober. Hopefully that's not the case now. Let me know. Aside from that, though, it actually turns out that this week was the start of the annual Minecraft binge that me and the boys do. They're always unplanned, they're always against my will, but I always have a good time. So I've just been doing that in my free time, aside from the normal responsibilities of being a homeowner or whatever the fuck. Operating a household, we call it around here, I guess. But aside from that, really just watching the downfall of iDubbbz, and I did find a clip I thought was really funny yesterday that is un-guy related, and I wanted to show it to you because I was actually just taken aback at how wild it kind of was. Because there's, when you upload a video online, maybe you wouldn't, maybe you do. When you upload a video online, there's like 4 different steps before you hit, like the final upload button, the publish button on YouTube, on Twitter or wherever you post it. And at some point, I would just think that, and I'm going to show you the clip, that when you're making a clip like the one I'm going to show you, I would think that at some point along that process, you would stop yourself and realize that maybe this isn't a good idea and you look like a fucking weirdo. But nonetheless, they did it anyway. So I'm going to... That's the wrong one. It's this one here, from Viper AU. Dark Viper AU, is that what it is? He's that guy that, he streams GTA 5, I think. He's like a speedrunner or something. I'm going to go ahead and give you an audio-style warning here, because it is going to be very loud. But he is crashing out, and I don't know the context. This came across my my Twitter feed, and I was so taken aback I wanted to show it to all of you.
Why can you not stop lying? Please stop lying! What is wrong with you? Like every single thing in this fucking video, your newest video is a lie! All I said, I just want you to acknowledge what you did and apologize! I spent 4 days of my life trying to get you to do that! And at every fucking turn, you said, no, fuck you!
So, I'm not gonna play the full 2.5 minutes, but again, I would think that at some point when you're this aggro, you're this hostile, you're this volatile on a video you're recording, I would recommend just not uploading it. It's not a good look. It'll never be a good look. So anyway, we're going to move on to the very cool DSP stuff that, of course, we all came here for, which is obviously very short week for the guy. He was only here Sunday and Wednesday, but he made sure to give all of the detractors more than enough content to look at, to mock, to ridicule, to belittle. And that was, of course, very sweet of him. We always appreciate DSP putting in that hard grind to make sure that we are always entertained on these Saturdays. So I guess thank you, DSP. Your work will not go unsung here. We will appreciate it for exactly what it is. And his first clip is DSP just confirming for everybody kind of what we all knew, in that his parents don't love him nor really care if he's existing on this planet anymore. But while that might be gilding the lily a little bit, it's really not. So here is the clip.
How's my morning? My morning's pretty good. Except I got awoken by Jasper early because my wife had to go to work early this morning. And Jasper Kitty always wakes up when she's getting ready and will not let me go back to sleep. Like while my wife's getting ready for work, I've got about like 90 minutes I can still sleep. Okay? And I want to sleep. But Jasper does not want me to sleep. Because my wife's up, that's it. You've got to be up. And he starts pawing me and pawing me and pawing me and purring and trying to get... Oh. So
yeah, it's almost like it's a reasonable time to wake up then, you know?
Low on sleep, but it's good. It's all good.
This guy lives the life of a streamer and wants to get on stream and think that this is content, that this is a subject that's actually worth talking about. While all of his... I'm going to assume that all of his fans are either children or that they actually have jobs. I'm going to paint them in the best light possible. He really wants to get on stream and complain to you that as in his life as a streamer, where he dictates his own schedule and he can do whatever he wants, whenever he wants, and talk about anything that he wants when he wants to make it a big deal that his cat wakes him up before he's ready to get up, despite not actually having to wake up for a normal job. Just like that's the guy that gets on stream every day. And he thinks that that's a good idea.
That's what kitties tend to do.
I know his fans are like Jaden Derrick. I was trying my best to be a good person.
Parents never expressed interest in pretty much any
I'll
of my
stop doing
interests.
that. My bad.
My whole life, and that's not an exaggeration. When I was a kid, I liked playing with action figures.
No, sorry, I talked over it. I'm gonna run it back so you can hear the exact quote here. It's important.
That's what kitties tend to do. No, my parents never expressed any interest of being in any of my content, just like my parents never expressed interest in pretty much any of my interests my whole life. And that's not an exaggeration.
The cope laugh or the exhale with the wheeze on the end of it, whatever you want to call it. The idea that his parents never showed any interest in any of the things that he was interested in. Brother, that's just short of fucking neglect, if you ask me. Nothing ever. They never entertained your ideas, your thoughts, your nothing. They are like, fuck it. Phil, he's doing whatever he's doing. He's doing good in school and he's home for dinner. Other than that, who gives a shit? That's what you're meaning to tell me?
When I was a kid, I liked playing with action figures and things, and my dad would do that with me, and then I would do it with my friends. Then I got into video games, and my dad would play Atari and stuff with me. And then we did some sports and stuff together. Like I always did sports and stuff with my dad.
Right.
But once I got into video gaming, he was just not into it. So after the Atari, like when I started going to arcades, my dad would drive me to the arcade, and he actually was at night school at the time, taking classes for college. And so he would study and do stuff while I was there at the arcade playing as a young kid. But then as soon as I was old enough to start doing stuff by myself, that was it. So
what's weird to me about this is he'll acknowledge that his dad wasn't interested in being at the arcade with him and hanging out in that capacity at the arcade, at the cabinets or whatever that atmosphere was. But you're meaning to tell me that after that point, because he didn't mention it, I can only go off of what he's mentioned. After that point, he never had another hobby that he tried to include his dad in. He tried to inform him on, tried to incorporate him in some way so that they could have this time together. He never missed spending that time with his dad. Enough to go out of his way to find something that they could do together. Never. Like, this isn't just a shortcoming on his parents' behalf in the way that he's telling the story. This is a shortcoming on his own behalf. This is the exact reason why when he was having those issues with his family and they were getting into some sort of drama and he didn't want to involve himself because he was going to college at the time, this is why he doesn't talk to any of them. He has never put forth the effort to include anybody in his life, which is crazy. It's so self-centered and narcissistic even.
Parents have no interest in video games or
and
anything.
He doesn't
like
even
that, so
see it. He doesn't care.
I doubt they've ever even watched a video of mine. I'm serious. I'm really serious. I don't think they care about this stuff. I mean, it's funny because, I say to my parents, you can just tune in whenever you want to see how I'm doing, to see how I look and everything. And, nope. Oh,
and that's why I say they don't even care if he's still breathing on this planet, because he says he does his once a week phone calls with them. But like, to not visually see your son in what, almost a decade at this point, something like that. They don't even tune into a stream to make sure that you're healthy, you look good, you still got energy, that life hasn't stripped away, every good part of your being. They don't check in just to log on, just to log on to the website on a guest account and peek in. Come on, man. They literally don't care at all if that's the case. Zero.
Extra bondage, yes. He says, I've been inundated with anti-DSP videos on YouTube. It's amazing how many leeches use you for content. Yeah, they call it the vortex that I'm not in. And I have no idea who these people are, and I have no interaction with them, and I don't care. I just ignore them. There's a whole ecosystem around me, apparently,
Right, except for all the times that we address them, of course.
All right, so we got about 20 minutes to hang out before we begin with Silk Song. So FYI, we've been doing really good, and thank you to everyone who's been supporting my streams. I appreciate that. We've reset back to 0 goals. At 10 goals, it looks like it'll be Little Caesars. So
I like that we're brushing over the rollback goals now. We're not explicitly mentioning it when we talk about Silk Song's doing great, guys. We hit all of the goals all of the time. We've never had any sort of flounders whatsoever. No shortcomings. It's just been great. No exceptions, obviously.
Please, let's get some support. Silk Song so far has been incredibly well supported. We've been hitting goals whenever we play it. And as long as we keep hitting goals when I play Silk Song, I've committed to keeping it as a day stream, a major stream in the rotation. If Silk Song doesn't get supported because it's a Metroidvania and it very well could fall off, then I'm probably going to turn it back to a night stream
Already putting in the built-in excuse, by the way. If Silksong has any sort of fall off, it's because it was a Metroidvania. Obviously, it would have nothing to do with the entertainment value that's being provided by the commentator. Absolutely not. It's purely because of the genre. That's how all streams work. Dumbass.
And see how it does.
Demi Fiend asking why he resets the goals again. I have no idea. We hit 10 or whatever, and then it resets back to 0. I think it's because he doesn't want a high number on his leaderboard because he thinks that'll make people not want to donate to the content, which is a really weird mindset to have, I think personally, but I wouldn't put the leaderboard up at all. So
There. All right.
none of it's
But
going to make sense
personally,
to
I really
me.
like the game and I want to keep playing it as a day stream. So please support Silksong today. We get our first support for the stream today. Maybe our first sub, our first membership, our first tip, our first super chat, just to get stuff rolling. That would be nice.
We have to get stuff rolling.
Thanks, Original Grant, first support of the day. A $2 super chat. He says, hello, Phil. You had amazing support last few streams. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And the thing is, sometimes it's one or two particular people, and then other times it's actually, a collective effort. And I really appreciate that. Like,
Oh yeah. I mean, a very authentic support over the past couple of weeks, where one or two individuals comes through and donates hundreds of dollars over the course of one stream. Very authentic and real, obviously.
let's be honest. We had that guy Final Wish who's been coming by and being very generous, and we had that other person as well who was very generous. And then we
Right.
had a couple streams. It seems like the night streams, right? Like Friday Night Fights. Everyone came together. We hit a goal last night for Truck Sim. We hit a goal. We're hitting goals like crazy, which is great. That's what I mean. Like, I want to keep that momentum going, and I want to keep these games in the rotation. Silksong I've actually really enjoyed. So I do hope that you guys are going to support Silksong, because I was skeptical about a Metroidvania working. So far, it's working.
We know. This is already the third time he's told people to support Silksong. In just the 4 minutes we've been on this clip, and I think 2 of them were talking about his parents. This is the third time that he's mentioned to support Silksong because he's scared.
So let's keep it working. I want to keep playing it, but I can't play a game of this magnitude. Apparently, this game is very long. I can't keep playing it if people aren't going to show up anymore.
All right.
Yes, of
We're
course,
waiting
correct.
for more
The only
support.
reason that I've been around for so long is because I am a warlock who makes deals with all kinds of demons and things.
I believe that.
Of course. Yes.
DSP's a sick, twisted individual. And honestly, the only explanation for his pig roach luck is behind-the-scenes style dealings with deities of unimaginable power. I'm a firm believer. You can't convince me otherwise. I'm implored by my own magical ability, of course.
In reality, the reason that I've been around for so long is just because I'm a really stubborn asshole, right? I'm a real stubborn bastard. I refuse to go away, and I refuse to let anyone tell me what I can and can't do, and I refuse to
and
lose.
he's proud of this.
So I just stick around, and I persevere.
That is the only quality that DSP has that you can even spin into a positive. That's it. Is the fact that he literally will not listen to anybody's own, sense of logic or common sense. He's unwilling to listen to it, and he must crash his skull through any barrier you put in front of him. Again, I don't personally think that that's exactly a positive trait to have, but it's the only one that he has. So you got to do what you can with what you got.
While other people have bowed out and given up and thrown in the towel and quit, every time that some kind of new adversity hits me, I say, screw that. I'm going to keep going. And I do, and I find a way to succeed.
I mean, I don't know if okay, look, filing for fucking bankruptcy is not a finding a way to succeed. That's not possible. You didn't succeed if you filed for bankruptcy. That's it. That's the end of my sentence. Unless you're like one of those fancy millionaires out there that has multiple businesses and they frequently file for bankruptcy and it never matters. That wasn't the guy's case. He was fucking flat broke. He did not find a way to succeed. He found a way to reset and make payments, which is embarrassing and pathetic.
Yeah, I know, Dab Hands, but there's nothing we can do. Dab Hands says, I'm always skeptical of new people. You don't know if it's old people creeping back in or whatever. And as a creator,
right,
that's something that you have to just basically deal with and be like, well, don't know. It is what it is. Certainly, I hope that newcomers who come by and are supporters are not someone who's already had awful conduct, someone who's already been banned, and now
Awful
they're coming in with a sock
conduct.
account. But it's not like you would know, and there's nothing you can do about it, right?
Right, right.
Nothing.
No, I agree.
I have no control over it. I'm sure it's happened tons of times over the years. It's just hilarious because it's always someone
funny.
new, yet at the same time, people say it's the same person. So first, a lot of the times back in the day, people
Well, that's Dennis, whatever, saying even his fans are paranoid. Well, that's what he's like put into them. He has gaslit his fans into being paranoid preemptively for him, I think, as some sort of like warning sign, even though he doesn't ever listen to what they have to say because we just went over this. He's got like ODD or something. But he has made them paranoid in advance. That way he can react late as fuck to that, obviously. It's all part of the business strategy that we're putting forth here at DSP Space Gaming.
say it was Swaggins. Oh, it was Swaggins is your only supporter. Swaggins comes by every stream and drops tons of money, right? Then
Yeah,
it
he used
became
to.
Only iced coffee. Oh, every supporter is only iced coffee. They're all the same person. Every single
A lot of
supporter
them are,
must be
yeah.
only iced coffee. But what
Yeah.
about Planet Jeff? Oh, every supporter is Planet Jeff.
A lot of supporters were Planet Jeff.
Secretly supporting from behind the scenes. Phil only has one supporter, right? And then over the years, it just keeps changing. But then they always bring up the same names. Like, so
Rob Boss telling me I'm wrong. Swaggins never gave money. He was only a mod. Okay, thank you for the information. I wasn't too deep into the Dent lore when Swaggins was around. I'm glad he's gone now, though. The only thing he's ever provided worth the value was, nope, nothing. Absolutely nothing, because I was thinking about Kekken instead.
let me get this straight. All my
I
supporters
guess
are the
rest in
same
piss,
person,
weirdo.
yet you just named 20 different people. So even your own logic.
But that's not 20 different people. That's 6 over the course of 17 years worth of Legacy, Phil. You understand how that's still basically the same thing, right? Like 6 is closer to 2 or 3 than it is 20. That's just the way that the numbers work out. Maybe that's why he only goes to 10, because he can't count any higher than that.
Fail.
And yes, I did steal that joke from chat. You're not getting any sort of kickbacks from that. Sorry.
Like, what are you talking about? What, 1 minute man. There you go. 1 minute man. Everyone must be 1 minute man, right?
He's enumerate.
So here's the thing. You can't control who supports you. You can't, right? You have no control over that. The truth is how people behave dictates how things go. As long as someone comes by and hangs out and is a cool person in chat and abides by the rules,
Right.
I'm happy to have anyone here, whether you support or not. But if someone ends up becoming a negative influence,
Unless, of course, we're having a bad stream and the funds are low and we really need to get that support rolling and get some momentum flowing, in which case I don't just appreciate that you're sitting here watching because you're not appreciating me enough, me, of course, being DSP. And in that case, I'm going to yell and belittle you in front of everybody and act as though you're a problem. Sound good?
a toxic
Sounds good to me.
influence, they're breaking the rules, they're being insulting, then they're going to get moderated just like anyone else. It doesn't matter if they're a supporter or not. And that's what's happened to a lot of these people. They start contributing, but then they think, oh, well, now I have free reign to just say and do whatever I want and be a nasty person to everybody because I'm contributing to the stream. And it couldn't be further from the truth. Everyone has exactly the same level of treatment. No one's better than anyone else. You know what I mean?
But it's just fundamentally not true. And you can go back and watch all of DSP's big whale supporters be given multiple opportunities that no-name sock accounts have never, ever been given. Never. Even when other chatters have specifically asked for their friend's sock account to be unbanned, that's not going to happen. But PPP's fat 600-pound Gunter or whatever was obviously going to be given a second chance because he donated so much money. OIC was obviously going to be given multiple chances. Despite calling your content shit, he was given multiple chances to come back because he gave so much money. It's just not true. We're factually lying. And all you have to do is go back.
And I hope that people understand.
Yes, Kirk as well. Canadian Kirk has the longest leash I have ever seen, says Infamous. 100% true. How long has or was Kirk kicking around on multiple sock accounts? And how many different segments did DSP do telling Kirk that he needs to just shut up talking in chat when he creates new socks so that he can maintain being in the chat and not get banned again? How many times did we do that segment? I know I made multiple of those videos, at least 2 or 3.
So, you know, in particular, these people who have been around in the last week who've been very supportive have been positive people. They haven't been toxic. They haven't been saying anything.
People are saying Kirk
so
is still around. Well,
It's all good. Danzak did a $5 super chat. He says, you have been around so long, you might be inspiring second-generation viewers. Isn't that cool? I've probably gotten 3 to 4 generations of viewer. You know, I get people who leave comments on my videos. They're like, dude, I just found you again. I used to watch you back in, like, 2010. And I was just randomly searching, and a video pops up in my feed, and it's you, and I can't believe you're still at it.
Right.
And then, honestly,
DSP has the same effect that people look at like Andy Worski with. Like, this guy's still around? He's still doing shit like this? I thought he was dead. I thought he was in jail. Homeless even. And he's still here. That's crazy. They are absolutely godsmacked, as DSP would say, that he has been able to maintain this lifestyle the way he has. Totally reasonable reaction, actually.
usually I get a comment like, wow, you look so different. Like, you sound different. You look different. Like, yeah, a lot has changed in the last 15 years. That's for sure.
Thank you, Wesley H, for the 5, saying Phil has a section of his podcast talking about his chat and supporters, but people watching this as a VOD can't see his chat. So what does this matter? Great point. Absolutely great point. And one of the great arguments to push everybody over to Raw Phil, obviously. Somebody who provides a much better viewing experience to DSP than DSP ever could imagine. Couldn't even fathom putting the fucking chat on screen. Because what if something happens, you guys?
So thank you so much, Dan Zach. Appreciate that. Super chat. Thank you so much. Can we get our first sub of the day over on Kick to get some momentum on Kick? So far, we have 2 super chats. Can we get our first tip of the day? That would be excellent. Get a tip, get a sub, get a little bit of variety and support.
I see people calling out the 4 generations comment, but we're going to get there.
Get that momentum flowing as we start up Silk Song.
He corrects himself.
But when I say, by the way, people are saying, oh, how could you have a 3rd generation viewer? You've only been doing this for 17 years. All right. If you're using it by the textbook definition, when you're saying that,
which is exactly the way that DSP has to communicate. Anytime DSP robots anything, look at the thing that we just did where we were talking about 2 or 3 viewers that support all of the streams or whatever, and he wanted to play semantics and then name 6 people and then claim it was 20, so you're wrong because it's not actually 2 or 3. It's the exact same thing here. He's unwilling to use the words as they're defined, but will hold everybody else accountable in the opposite direction. It's embarrassing. It's pathetic. It's completely slime ball behavior. He's greasy.
To me, it makes me feel like different generations of gamers. So, like, there was the Xbox 360 PS3 generation. That was the first generation that watched me, right? Then there was the PS4, Xbox One, Wii U generation. So that's like generation 2 that watched me. Then there was the PS5, Xbox Series S and X generation.
So he meant to say 4 generations of gamer, but even that would still imply something else.
Which generation? That's the 3rd generation that watched me. And now the current generation, right? Where we got like, I'm a PC gamer now. I'm doing other things. I feel like there's been like...
I'm a PC gamer now. Being like a bullet point in the change of the legacy is crazy to me. It to me would be a completely unremarkable thing to have happen, to switch over to PC gaming. Like when I got my first personal computer and I was able to play games on it, I didn't start telling people, yeah, I'm a PC gamer now, so basically my whole life is different and everybody should view me as such. That's crazy.
4 distinct time periods that I've been making content when it comes to gaming. That's what I mean. I'm not meaning actually someone was watching me when they were 18 years old and they had a kid, and now their kid grew up and had a kid and their grandchild is watching me. That's not what I meant.
Yeah.
But I guess it takes a little bit of intelligence and thought to think about, what I'm saying instead of you being, matter of factly at face value.
You mean, taking the meaning from the words that you decided to use? You as a conscious adult decided to use these words and convey the wrong message, and people received the wrong message? Whoa. No way.
Most simple textbook definition for simpleton. There's no way that there could be 3 generations watching you. You're right.
But simpletons don't communicate with the exact definitions of words as they're supposed to. They talk a lot more ignorant than that. And I should know. I'm an ignorant talker myself. Shout out Jordan Fadeaway for the 2, saying families are like console generations. You get it? Well, I get it, Chief. I get it. Trust me. I was down with the cause before you even sent that. So we're on the same page. These fucking idiot detractors aren't, though.
But most humans don't think that way. Holy
I like most humans don't think that way. Like they don't think of generations of families or of people as like actual generations. They're supposed to think of them as console generations. Obviously, that's how normal people think.
shit. Okay. Can we get our first tip of the day? We've gotten some super chats. We got a sub now. Can we get a tip? Then we'll have had contributions of every sort, which is a nice start. It's not proof of life. It's evidence that strongly suggests biological carbon life existed on Mars millions of years ago, and it's pretty cool. All right, cool.
All right, cool.
Now let's find a fossil in that life,
Uh-huh.
right? Let's now revive that creature from Mars,
Right?
like Jurassic Park.
Okay.
And let's let that creature then destroy all life on Earth. Let's go.
Oh, okay. At least we're just destroying all life on Earth. I was convinced he wanted to resuscitate this life on Mars so that it could be some sort of whale-style money creature for him. He was going to turn it into a forced dent. But no, we're just destroying the Earth. That's far more reasonable. Thank you, Infamous KS, for the €2 is what I'm going to go with. I always forget, and I'm never going to learn, and you can't make me. As a second-generation PS4 immigrant, I agree, DSP. Well, it's important that you remember your lineage, I suppose. Big odds.
Let's get a huge
Big
mutant
odds.
freak that just absorbs all matter.
I hope
like
your
the blob
immigration
eats us
status
all.
is looking
Sounds like a
good
plan.
on your PC now.
Gay
We'll be looking
Gorilla
into that.
45 tipped me $1. Says you should do a tactical soap review. We already talked about these soap reviews, and I'm not doing them because apparently it's some kind of a stupid lolcow meme. So fuck.
Incredibly disrespectful to the one and only GOAT that is King Cobra JFS. Rest in peace. I believe that would have been a very touching tribute, DSP, to the Gothic King himself. But of course, we are always disrespectful to everyone all of the time, and we can never have any fun. So tactical soap reviews are still out of the equation.
That.
Real shame.
Or you should do a local barbecue review. We looked into a couple local barbecues, and the thing is, number one, they're all really expensive for what they are. Number two, getting delivery barbecue, I'm very skeptical because I did actually do that before, and the barbecue overcooked and was dry and not good when delivered.
Right.
So that was disappointing. And number three, I can't eat a lot of red meat. Okay, I can't. I'm not supposed to eat a lot of red meat because of my health conditions.
Except for all of those burgers that he's consuming all of the time on what feels like every other DSP tries it, where we manage to find a way to eat burgers, and it's always grotesque, and it's always far more food than anyone should be consuming.
So if I eat barbecue, it's like, what do they actually have at barbecue? Well, they have red meat in beef, red meat in pork,
Right.
red meat with any kind of ribs that I get, brisket, red meat,
Uh-huh.
tips, or burnt tips, red meat. The only thing they actually have at a barbecue place that's not red meat is the chicken. And that's one thing they have, but no
And I'm sure that they have a ton of sides that are absolutely fucking delicious, because every barbecue place always seems to have absolutely fire sides, but whatever.
one's going to want to see me just try barbecue chicken. So that's why, like, I'm skeptical. Why am I going to spend...
But they could. Like, I don't know how many of you have like a fucking like a chain barbecue place, like a Mission or something, if you have those in your local area. Getting a pulled chicken sandwich and then getting like the green beans and then like the mac and cheese. That's a DSP tries it on a quality that is higher than fucking Burger King at least, but we can't do that. That's not a real DSP tries it, I guess. That's too much.
A lot of money to get food delivered that's not going to be great delivered because it's probably going to overcook on the way. And then
Rob Boss asking pulled. Yes, pulled chicken on a sandwich. Oh, we're doing polls. My bad.
It's going to
my
be
bad.
food that I'm
I
not
didn't
supposed
mean
to be eating.
use the trigger
So
word.
that's why I've been very skeptical about the barbecue. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Like I said, let's keep hitting those goals for Silksong so I can keep Silksong as a daytime stream and we can make maximum progress before the new releases hit end of the month, next week. It's actually late next week. Okay? About 10 days we have to play a lot of Silksong. I would love to do many more major streams of Silksong before new releases hit. Dan Zach did a $2 super chat asking, have I ever been to a dance club?
No.
Like a full-on, the purpose of the club is dancing? No. I've been to bars, nightclubs, stuff like that.
Is the point of a nightclub not to dance? I don't know. I've never been to a nightclub. You can call me a not human style or whatever. Never been my thing. Nightclubs are not. Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
Where there is some dancing, but I've never been to a place that's 100% like a dedicated dance club. My eyes look a bit puffy. Did I get enough sleep last night? I already said I lost some sleep last night because my wife went to work.
I find it difficult to believe that DSP's ever been to a nightclub, like, period. Normal style bar? Okay, fine. A nightclub? DSP? With loud music? And other people? Thank you, Salt Lick, for the 20 months, saying, it always makes me chuckle to hear him say health condition, as if his gout isn't common knowledge at this point. Anything to obfuscate the facts, obviously. If the new dents don't know, we're going to keep them in the dark as long as possible. That's just how this cult has to work. The second they learn he has gout, they're going to be gout, 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 gout in chat, and we can't have that, so.
Today, and she goes to work early, and when she gets up early to get ready for work, Jasper wakes up, and Jasper kept waking me up this morning. I lost like 90 minutes of sleep that I normally would have had because he just kept waking me up. I'm like, oh, man. So it is what it is. Let's get the chair cover on as well. Thank you for the early support. We're already at $50, and I really appreciate that. We're going to get around 3.5 hours of Silk Song gameplay in here today, which is what I was expecting.
All the lights are off in the back now. Completely different scene style. I feel like we're in a horror movie. DSP, turn those lights back on, please. I don't even want to be here anymore without the lights.
Expecting. Should be great progress.
This is bullshit.
Please, let's keep hitting our goals for Silk Song so we can keep it in the rotation as a daytime stream. Okay.
All right. So there was your maybe 4th or 5th Silk Song beg in a 14-minute video. Isn't that wild that you can beg that many times for the exact same fucking thing in such a short period? That's crazy. Anyway, the next clip is honestly incredibly long. We only have 3 clips total for the entire stream today, but the next 2 are like an hour apiece. So it is what it is. But the next one is obviously a massive beg, because I know we don't beg enough over here on DSP Space Gaming. We always have to get as much in as possible, and it's never enough.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort. Code. Drip. Snort, snort. I got the drip. Go.
And we had a successful chill return to American Truck Sim streaming on Sunday night.
Whoa.
So far, so good. Everything is.
It went great, guys. I'm not gonna show you that clip because I thought it was lame, but he revealed that he had a gay style helicopter story, and I use gay in the exact sense here. He was talking about a Frenchman named Jacques the Cock, and he was talking about his penis, which was of course very robust and meaningful to everybody in the chat. But I didn't realize that Jacques the Cock was a name that he had stolen. If you recall, he used that name for like MLB at one point or something. And I thought that was an original terrible DSP joke, but it turns out he couldn't even come up with that on his own. And that was also stolen from real life, from somebody apparently on the other side of the world that is funnier than him and also hates their kid.
Been great. In fact, if you're not aware, I believe we have had 8 straight streams, if not 9 straight streams, where we have hit all of my support goals. Okay? That's amazing. And it wasn't expected. You know, the last couple of weeks, it was kind of touch and go there, where I would hit a goal, then I would miss a goal, then I would hit a goal, I would miss a goal.
Right.
I'm very happy that we have had so much support. Now, in addition to that, it's not just one person. Because
hell yeah, Infamous. The streak is back, baby. We're fucking live again. Hell yeah.
Because there were a couple streams that were pretty much carried by like one person. But since then, we've still been hitting goals. We've still been getting support. It's been great. So I want to say thank you to anyone who attended my streams over the last week and has supported and allowed me to hit goals. Now, before we even get to hellos and topics, I just want to say this.
Okay. Before we get to hellos is crazy, by the way. I don't know how you start anywhere but hello. And if you've started with something else, you don't get to say hello anymore. It's kind of dead, isn't it? We'll move on positively.
Right now.
Right. This one right now.
Is probably the one stream that I am nervous about the most for support. Why? Because guess what I am playing after the podcast ends?
What?
Suikoden 2.
So before we even get to hellos on the start of the stream today, we're going to make sure that we beg for Suikoden 2 support because it's just not there. What other game gets this kind of treatment? Why do we do this? Why do we continue to play all of these lame ass JRPGs that his audience clearly does not fucking care about, despite the clear evidence that they don't. That this is not working for his business, that he's not going to be hitting his goals, he's not going to be getting the money that he's looking for. Well, like, what are we doing here? And this is not slander on Sweet Codeine 2. I've never played the game. I don't actually know. I just find JRPGs incredibly boring to watch.
And as we know, whenever I play RPGs, particularly more traditional RPGs, it's incredibly hard to bring an audience, or I should say, to retain an audience. I've had no problem getting the audience for a podcast, but as soon as I start playing that game, it's like, oh my God, run for the hills, abandon all hope, get the hell out of Dodge. We'll come back when Phil's done. And that's frustrating because I have a great time playing classic RPGs. This Suikoden 1 and 2 are games that I played when I was in my teens on the PlayStation 1. I absolutely loved these games. Okay.
I've just realized that the Kick chat is on the right and the YouTube chat is now on the bottom. It's very, very interesting to me. Sorry. If anybody didn't notice before, I was actually wondering why kicks were being sent on the right side of the screen. I was fucked up. My bad.
Okay, I did. And I wanted to share those experiences with all of you. The Suikoden 1 playthrough, we had really good support for. And in general, we had an engaged audience who came by, hung out, talked about the game, and had a great time.
Right.
With Suikoden 2, I'm not saying that...
I was told that ICS was actually the person that was funding the Suikoden 1 stream. I know DSP claimed otherwise. I never went back to look because I don't give a shit about that. But big if true, funny either way. It actually doesn't matter who was supporting it. It's not getting support now, and DSP seething.
We haven't had some people come by to hang out and have a good time. We have, but the support has basically been all over the place. We have had streams where we have hit goals, and we have had streams where we have not even come close to hitting half a goal. All right?
Damn.
So it's
not
this
even
simple.
half a goal. Not even $75 reduce. Come on, guys.
This stream right now,
Embarrassing.
let's get some support rallying for the podcast. So that way, if you're not going to stick around for Suikoden 2, that's okay, but we've hit the goal. Seriously. If you like Suikoden 2, stick around and hang out with me and have a great chill afternoon. But if you don't, support the stream for the content that I put out before it, and for, in general, the fact that I am here so often putting out awesome content for you on a daily basis, and the fact that you appreciate it. Let's get some support.
But this counters exactly what his business model is supposed to be, at least according to him, at least to the rules that we've had laid out before us an indefinite or an infinite amount of times. If you like the game, you support the stream, and that's how he knows that you like the game. So every time he's ever asked to support the pre-stream, even if you don't like the game because of this, that, or the other content that he puts out, all that's going to do, at least according to him, is make the data harder to parse through and actually come to a reasonable conclusion for the business. Obviously, he's not doing any of that anyway. That's all fucking make-believe nonsense so that he can sound like he's actually got a business strategy, that he's actually looking into the things that his fans like. There's all nothing. It's nonsense. But that's what he's presented to us. And then we're supposed to give money anyway. It's just
rolling.
It's all backwards.
And let's crush the goal.
It's all
let's break
fucked up.
the norm. Let's not make this a pattern where every time that I play Suikoden 2, I'm not going to be getting any support. Instead, let's crush it. All right? So thank you in advance to anyone who supports. We're going to talk about a new kind of support on Kick in just a moment that was added last night out of nowhere. No one was expecting it, and it's kind of out of control. Let's get that out of the way.
It's out of control. It's completely fucking radical, dude.
Okay. And then we can talk about the other topic, which is the best games of the year that I'm kind of having a hard time getting to
totally
watch,
tubular.
okay?
I agree.
Cool. We got Copper Chef. We got Extra Bondage doing some kicks right now on Kick. We'll talk about that because you can't see them if you're not live in the Kick chat. There's no way for me to even, like, show these kicks going on right now, unlike my other contributions, right?
Kicks is a terrible name, by the way. God-awful, terrible name for recurrency. Just it sucks. I keep thinking about the cereal. I keep thinking the guys talking about the shit-ass Kicks cereal. Sorry if you like Kicks. That's a bad pick. I don't ever want to hear the word Kicks again, especially not in this context.
I get a tip. I do
Way
a
too
manual
much.
animation. For super chats, we have automated. For members and subs, we have automated. Right now, there's nothing for these kicks, but I will explain soon. So thank you, Extra Bondage over there, who's actually throwing some kicks out. We got RGB Kings completely spamming the chat with moral support. We've got High Tech Operative. What's going on? We have 650J, who's sending 100 kecks, which aren't even real, but it's that meme. A morning toker.
It's that meme? That the Keck meme? All right.
Is it
Sorry,
really that bad?
I was lost. I didn't.
Is
Whatever.
life that bad that the first thing you do when you get up in the morning, you have to hit the weed? Really? That it's kind of like those people too who like they can't function without liquor, so they have to get up and have like a Bloody Mary.
You?
Oh,
DSP has explained to us previously that his life was in such a state at one point where he was drinking all night long, waking up in the middle of the afternoon, eating fast food, and then immediately started drinking to play video games and upload 50 videos a day to waste everybody's time. That's his own admission. But we're going to belittle anybody who wakes and bakes or likes to enjoy a Bloody Mary when they wake up. Okay, I mean that's not me. But if I was in DSP's position, I wouldn't be talking no shit. Somebody asking, such sublime asking, do I mean tricks? No, I mean kicks. I'll pull up a picture.
Ugh.
I'll go find it.
I couldn't imagine that. Now, how about this? Ian got the ball rolling. How about we have our first tip of the day via PayPal? How about we get our first gifted sub of the day? And how we get a membership? And how about we get our first 100 kick of the day over on Kick? Someone do 100 kicks at once, because I actually count that towards the leaderboard. Okay.
Yeah, it's this. This is Kick's cereal. It sucks. It's not good. It's if you like these, you have like I said, wrong opinion, bad opinion. Nobody likes Kicks. Get them out of here. Ban world. It's like how ALT feels about mint ice cream is how I feel about Kicks cereal. Get it out. Get it out of here.
Let's get that momentum rolling so we can hit that goal and not have to worry about Suikoden 2 being the only game that I don't hit support for when we've been hitting goals every other stream. Let's go. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to talk about
I just know we're going.
these new additions to Kick because both of them are interesting, but also confusing. It actually seems like they're not necessary.
People saying Kicks are all right. Well, okay, to be fair, I have had Kicks since I was a small child, and I didn't like them then because they were boring adult-style cereal. Come on now. And I'm not having them again because I like other boring adult-style cereals in a different way. I'm going to hate Kicks until I die, and I'll never eat them again, and you can't make me.
That emo. They're
Just
not necessarily polished yet. Okay, so allow me to explain. So the first new feature that they added to Kick streaming yesterday is a subscriptions goal. What is that and how does it work? Well, what you can do now is you can set a goal for subscriptions that you're trying to hit during a set time period. It could be as short as a few hours. It could be as long as several days to a week. You can basically do it as however you want, and that way you and your viewers have something to work towards when it comes to support. The cool thing about it is you can pick any one of your emotes as the emote that promotes the goal. So I have the new salute emote as the emote promoting this goal, and I actually set this up this morning to be a goal of 25 subs by the end of tomorrow. So that includes this stream, tonight's late night stream of Chronos.
This is such a nothing piece of fucking content. Sorry to swear so much. I just can't even believe that this is a topic we're talking about. We're actually talking about a new feature on Kick in which he can ask you to give him money, and you get I don't even know what you get out of that. And there's a new emote that you can spam in chat, I guess, if you're a fucking idiot.
Dawn.
How cool is that?
Silk Song.
I'm glad we're talking
late night
about
tomorrow
this.
night. Chill with Phil returns. We haven't done a full-on Chill with Phil stream in a long time, so it's Chill with Phil stream tomorrow night. All 4 of those streams combined, we're trying to hit 25 subs on my Kick channel. Can we do it? Can we hit the goal? Can we get the momentum going now?
Can you
if
give
someone
me
gives a
more
sub, we'll
money?
get that momentum rolling. Let's get that going right now. Let's get our first sub towards our 25 goal for the next 2 days. Let's go. Okay. Anyway,
dude, this guy's segue, ability is awful, terrible. How do you talk for 17 years and have an inability to move from one topic into the next with any sort of transition, with any sort of grace whatsoever? Every single time he's done making a point, he comes to a complete full stop and has no ability to pivot into something else. It's actually really sad. and I get second-hand embarrassment a lot from it. It's an ability that you have to have. I think that if you're going to talk to a lot of people all at once, an entertainer, if you will, or a presenter of any sort, these long stops in between these topics they're rough.
By the way, thank you to Terry Bogard. Did a 100 kicks. I don't say did a 100 kicks. I say gifted 100 kicks or sent 100 kicks.
Yeah, he uses begs like they're conjunctions or semicolons. It's really weird.
Okay, so thank you, Terry Bogard. That will count on the leaderboard. Now, if you're wondering, what does that mean? Wait a minute. What are you talking about? I'll explain in a moment because we're going to explain the kick system, okay? So each kick is worth a penny. I'm not kidding. So 100 kicks is the equivalent of $1. So now we are up to $7 of support for today's stream. So again, let's get that momentum rolling, right?
I hope you guys are ready for the pig-splanation of how kicks are just like bits on Twitch. And instead of just saying it like that and moving on, we're gonna spend quite a while here doing this. So I like I said, I just hope you're strapped in, you got your seatbelt on, and your snacks or whatever.
Let's get our first sub. Let's get our first membership. We got some kicks and we got a super chat. Now let's get some support in the other regions. All right. All right. So I've started a new goal, and it worked. I'm literally looking at it right now, and it worked live. It's below the stream. It's me saluting like this. It's 25 subs by the end of tomorrow.
Who the fuck cares?
So, now let's get some subs going. Let's get some support rolling. Let's hit that goal. Let's hit 25 subs in the next 48 hours. How does that sound? That's not too much to ask, honestly.
You know, I called this shit short, sweet, and to the bag. And short and salty is what it was. Short and salty, which is usually me. But to the beg is the guy, and I really underestimated how much begging was in these clips, even though I watched them.
Support on Kick? It's not. In fact, I will say this. I want to get some momentum going because Kick support has been slow this week. In the 2 days I streamed, we've only gotten like 10 subs. Oh, that is correct. Breaking Fist says, are you aware that if you are using the mobile app on iOS or Android, Kick will charge you $6.50 for a sub, but if you use desktop or the web version, they only charge $4.99? Yes. Anytime that you use a mobile app to buy something, there's an upcharge for the app store through which you're using it. So never do that. In fact, a ton of mobile games now are pushing their customer bases to not use any purchases through the game.
Yeah, I bet Phil would know this. He's got to give you the expert take on how mobile games steal all of your money the most efficient way, and how these app stores are scamming you, obviously.
Instead, to go to an online store where you link your account, you buy through the store, then they send you the items you purchased into the game through like an inbox or an email box. That completely bypasses the extra profits that the mobile app stores try to steal for no reason. Right. So I strongly...
For no reason, of course, being that they provide the storefront. Now, this is not me defending storefronts whatsoever, but the expectation that you were going to use a storefront and they would never take any sort of cut, very odd, very strange.
Recommend that if you're going to support anyone.
It is very weird that they put it on the user though, rather than the company that runs the app. But whatever.
On Kick, if you're going to support anyone on YouTube, if you're going to support anyone, hell, on Twitch for that matter, never use the app or app store. Always go through desktop or go to a browser and log in manually through a browser and do it there, or else you are paying significantly more money just to do it through an app. It's absolutely ridiculous. Okay.
Whoa, Coffee Boy with the 5 giving us spoilers, saying, Atlas, just wanted to let you know, kicks are like bits, like in Twitch. Well, all right, I guess we can skip the rest of this, the remaining 40 minutes on this clip.
All right.
Thank you for the 5.
FYI, we have that goal set for tomorrow. Let's do it. We have 4 streams to hit that goal. Let's get our first sub of the day towards that goal right now. All right. So
come on, guys, right now. I need your money.
Some people are already saying, well, will you ever use those goals and actually drive support and do like rewards and things? I don't know yet. First of all, let's even...
Wait, so the goals really are for fucking nothing? Are you joking? Are you shitting me right now? I thought I was yucking it up. I thought I was having a laugh and you guys were memeing on me, saying that you get nothing. Will you really actually get fuck all? He doesn't do shit? Oh my god, man. His content fucking sucks.
And see if it works.
Oh,
it just launched, right?
God.
Who even knows if it's going to track properly or what it's going to do? So let's calm down and let's give it a test run. Let's see.
Oh yeah, sorry. We have to do test runs before you can get anything out of it. Please give me hundreds of dollars preemptively before I give you anything as a test. Sounds good to me. Thank you, Joseph Moy, for the 11 months, saying more goals, less rewards. Let's go. I agree.
If the
Thank you for
tracking
the
works,
11 months.
if it's proper, you know what I mean? We got to be sure that everything's fine. Once we can confirm that this new feature works, maybe we can do stuff. What? I don't know yet. We can think about it, right? It has to be something quick, obviously. If it's for a certain set number of subs, maybe it's a silly dance. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows, right? But we can figure something out.
We're going to
That if
do
we
a
get the sub
silly
goal, that we have a little
dance for money.
celebration.
Is that like a lolcow thing where if you like don't know how to entertain people, you try and do a silly dance? Like I seen to relate this to a different lolcow, I seen iDubbbz was throwing it back and dropping it low on stream the other day for some pity bucks. Is that the lolcow grift? Do you just drop it like it's hot once in a while for a couple of shekels on the internet? Is that the way forward? Big if true. I didn't know that was the new meta.
Or a little reward, but I'm just not sure what it could be yet.
So
right.
awful.
Cool.
It's
Please
just
give
a
me one
level
second.
1 idea,
Jasper
man.
Kitty had jumped in my window, and then he jumped out, but now the sun is coming through the curtains because he moved the curtains. Let me rearrange the curtains for a second, okay?
Oh, sorry, guys. I gotta go rearrange my curtains live on stream. It can't wait. I can't do it during the break.
So
I can't continue to deliver this a monologue with the gusto that I would like if the windows are just slightly open, via the curtain. Very.
one tip, the $1.01 says, why do you round down tips? I don't round down tips. I just don't count change. I'm not going to sit here with a fucking calculator counting pennies. I just don't have time. It's not worth my time, quite frankly. Okay. There you go. Very simple. All right. Take that shit to the bank. This isn't a bank. This is a stream. Okay.
All right. So you're getting scammed out of any extra change that you throw his way. Just make it all even, dumbass. This is your fault. If you don't like it, you can fuck right off or change it yourself.
Now, can we get a real tip instead of $1.01 from someone trying to be a jerk? Let's get a real tip. Come on. Let's get
How is that somebody trying to be a jerk, by the way? That was a genuine question.
our first real tip of the day, and for God's sakes, let's get our first subscription of the day over on Kick right now. Let's get our first sub towards the goal. Let's see if the goal works. We can't see if it works until someone gets a sub, so someone do it right now.
This bit again. Yeah, he'll take the pennies, so he's scamming for spare change. Yes, imagine
My eye burns. Crap, my
being
eye's
so
burning.
lowly.
I couldn't hold the pose because my eyes started burning.
Imagine being so low in life that you're actually scamming fucking pennies and change, dude. That's just that's a life that I wouldn't. Never mind. I wouldn't want. I was gonna say wouldn't wish upon worst enemy, blah blah blah, but I disagree.
So now we only have 24 subs to go.
My worst
to hit
enemies
our
can go to
goal.
hell.
By the end of the week, let's go. Let's get some more subs on this very stream. Because again, remember, Sweet Code N2, historically, my least supported streams right now. I want to flip that script. I want to change that narrative. I want to hit the goal on.
It'll go in the DSP history books. So we get into the historically lowest streams DSP's done in all of 2025, dude.
This stream, so that it's not the dead game or the dead stream that Phil only plays for himself. I want to have people support my content. Let's go. Okay, so now let's talk about the other half of this new equation going on Kick. Kicks. They're actually just
I didn't realize this was an equation, to be honest. I didn't know we were busting out the math, but we are talking money, so I guess I should have assumed.
called Kicks. Okay, so on Twitch they have a bits system, and that bit system is you purchase these bits behind the scenes through Twitch. Twitch charges you a premium
behind the scenes.
So, for example, over on
I don't know why we're trying to make it sound nefarious or devious in any sort of sense. Behind the scenes, Jesus Christ.
On Twitch, this is just an estimate. I haven't been on Twitch in many years. It used to be like, so you buy 100 bits for like $1.40. So you pay $1.40. Twitch will keep 40 cents. That's their profits. You will now have 100 bits to give to a streamer, and each bit is worth a penny. Now, the streamers on Twitch are not allowed to say that. I know how stupid that sounds, because obviously everyone knows that bits have monetary value, but Twitch actually had it in their terms of service that streamers can never say that bits have monetary value, or that's a violation and you will lose your partner status. I wish I was kidding. I'm not. Twitch.
This is only an issue if you have a business that runs like DSPs, where you have to beg as intricately and as detailed as possible, but you can never like give any sort of information on your own personal finances, if that makes any sort of sense. Where the only way you can talk about the finances or the financials is by talking about the ways in which you can give money in intricate detail. So this shouldn't bother anybody. This shouldn't be a thing that anybody gives a shit about. But because he's DSP, obviously this is one of the biggest things in his life. This is something that's always stuck in the back of his head, in the back of his mind, and it's always telling him that it's fuck Twitch time.
Actually has said that. And there was one time when Twitch actually contacted me and said, stop talking about bits. And I was like, are you fucking crazy? You fucking idiots? I'll talk about what I want. I'm not going to lie to my audience.
Just ODD to the max. They never said lie. They just said stop talking about it. It's not a lie. It's not even a lie of omission to just not bring up the subject. Just don't fucking talk about it because it's not necessary. Make content even.
But they want everyone to lie over there. I think there's some kind of a legal loophole that they try to use for their own taxing purposes to say that bits don't have monetary value when everyone knows that they do. Okay?
Okay.
So,
DSP should respect that. He's the king of writing things off on his fucking taxes that shouldn't be written off. So like what are we doing here? We're going to criticize other businesses for loopholes when you're doing similar ones? Seems disingenuous to me. Seems kind of scummy.
each bit was a penny. So over here on Kick, they're using exactly the same system. You have to buy these kicks ahead of time. How do you do that? Well, take a look right now at the chat. And what you'll see is right next to the chat box where you would type the chat, there's a few different things. And one of them now looks like a house. I don't know why they're using that icon because it just looks like a house to me. But apparently that's supposed to be a store. I don't know why they think that looks like a store. I would have used a dollar sign, but instead they use a building. Okay. So you click on the building and then you can buy kicks.
Think about how useless of a segment this is for the people that watch the VODs, for the majority of his audience that is on YouTube and will never go to Kick ever. Like, this is a completely useless segment for the 5 people that actually give him anything over on Kick. And yet we're going to spend a very large portion of time explaining the UI elements on a website. And we're not even going to fucking show the website. He could just pull it up and use his mouse cursor to point. But we're going to have to verbally describe the entire thing instead because we're too fucking stupid, I guess.
Okay. So what is the current exchange rate? Well, I can tell you what it is in the United States. It says get kicks. Okay. So for 100 kicks, it's $1.09. For 250 kicks, it's $2.69. For 500 kicks, it's $5.29. For 1,000 kicks, it's $10.55. For 2,500 kicks, it's $26.35, and so on. What it looks like is the more you buy,
right,
the less of an upcharge there is.
Obviously.
If that makes sense. So
why, dude, and this is what I'm talking about. How fucking stupid does he think his audience is? He has to explain the breakdown of kick ratio to real life money and explain to you that you're getting a better deal if you buy more at once. That way you're doing less transactions because I'm sure that they're getting charged a fucking credit card fee or whatever the fuck like every storefront does. And it just like, who is this for? I don't know what audience member needs this.
Basically, if you buy them on a dollar basis, you're paying 9 cents premium per 100. But if you buy, for example, 1,000, you're only paying 55 cents premium, which means it was only 5 cents per 100. So it declines the more you buy at a time. So if you're someone who watches a lot of kick streamers and you're going to be doing a lot of kicks to support them, you're probably going to want to buy the biggest pack possible because you save the most money then. Okay? Now, the way it works is in that very same menu, there are different levels of kicks that you can do, starting at as little as 1 kick. Then there's 10, 50, 100, 500, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, and a whopping 50,000. And each one of the larger categories starting at 100 has an animated picture that it plays in chat. One of them is like a coin. There's like a suitcase. Don't ask me.
I can get like 10 frames of animation when I spend like $100. Huh? What? No way.
Why? There's a suitcase, a bullhorn, a sneaker, a big blinged out K necklace, and the 50,000 kicks is a giant grenade. So you might say, well, what's the value? Well, I don't know yet because they haven't contacted us to even tell us. But if it works like Twitch, which I'm assuming it does, why wouldn't it?
Reminder that he opened this kick segment by telling you that each one was worth a penny. Like exactly what he said was that each one is worth a penny. To then 10 minutes into the segment tell you he doesn't actually know and he's just assuming. How cool is that, dude? How robust and meaningful is this segment?
Each single kick is a penny. So if you do the math, a 100 kick is $1. 500 kicks is $5. 50,000 kicks would be $500.
Right.
So right now, if someone were to
That's
do a
quick maths for you.
50,000 kick grenade on my channel, we would hit 3 goals immediately. So let's go. Who's going to be the first 50,000 kicker on DSP Gaming Reel?
Also, kicker, very terrible name for somebody who gifts, who sends kicks. I don't know that we should be saying that on a regular basis. A little dangerous for Mushmouth DSP over there, if you ask me.
On kick. Let's go. I will put you on the wall of fame. You will be there immortalized as the first ever 50,000 kicker. Let's go. Let's hit it. Yes. Okay.
All right.
So
Let's
that's
go.
how it works.
Come
Now,
on.
when you do those kicks, okay, it displays.
Yeah. Wesley H has got the idea. Maybe he should go with Kika, just so when he inevitably fucks it up, we're a little more safe than we were otherwise. You know, it's just if we're gonna take risks, let's dial back the risk a little bit. You know.
Your contribution in the chat.
Yeah. Shout out all the
It'll
fellow
show,
kickers in
like
chat.
I said,
for
an
real,
emote
for real.
or a moving animation for those, and they go, like I said, 1, 10, 50, 100, 500, etc. Now, herein lies the problem and the rub. Okay, as of right now,
here's the rub. DSP is about to give you the rub, and it's against your will. There's nothing you can do about it. Thank you, Toe Derricks, for the $2, saying the way he mispronounces things is so dented. I agree. Absolutely, I agree. And some people say that about me, too. And I agree there, too.
they just launched these last night. This wasn't even on my first stream yesterday. It was only on my late stream. Okay. The way that they've set it up currently, there's absolutely no way for me, the streamer, to regulate any of this at all. Okay? Well, what does that mean? It means that right now, someone could keep sending one and spam the chat.
Sorry, I sped it up and the audio kicked out. My bad, my bad. What does this
It
mean?
means that right now, someone could keep sending one kicks and spam the chat entirely, and I have absolutely no way to control that whatsoever. Okay? And that's actually what happened last night, is when I was streaming Gears of War Reloaded, people were buying 100 kicks for $1, well, $1.09, okay? And then they were literally going, one kick, 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 one kick. Okay, I think you get the idea.
Just like ridiculously unfunny in such a way that you wouldn't think it was possible. You wouldn't think it would. You could have negative charisma, and he's got it. He always manages to show it off too. Thank you, Radical Jaws, for the 279 Canadian currency. Not real, but I appreciate the sentiment. Saying a new week, same rant. What's this? The 200th time? You're gonna have to bump that number up. It's probably like the 2000th time. Real talk. You know how it is with the guy. It's a flat circle that we're on every day. But we still show up for the Saturday morning Atlas streams so that we could catch the highlights. I hope.
So this lasted, I'm not kidding you, 30-some minutes, where the chat was literally just one kick spam moving up the chat. And so, of course, Dunsfelter was modding, and he's like, well, how do we stop it? And we were both looking at it like, you can't. There's actually no way. If you time the person out or you even moderate them by banning them, they can still send kicks. So there's no way to stop the kick spam right now at all. They coded in the kicks, but they didn't actually test it. So anyone could just sit there spamming, and you can't stop it, okay?
All right.
Now you might say, well, why would you want to stop it? That's support. Well, you're right, except here's the rub. Let's say, for example...
Wait, we're doing a second rub? We just put on the first one. We just got finished with the first rub, and now we're doing a second one. I'm starting to become uncomfortable. There's too much rubbing going on the DSP stream. And we see how that has turned out in the past, so...
Someone walks up to you on the street and says, hey, man, here's $5. Seriously, just take it. You'd be like, oh, cool. I'll take $5. Thank you so much. Now, what if someone walked up to you on the street and they had 5 rolls of pennies? And they said, hey, man, here's $5. here's a penny, here's a penny, here's a penny, here's a penny, here's a penny. And you're like, what the fuck? And the pennies they're bouncing off your chest, they're bouncing off your face. The fuck, the shit they do.
It's so fucking
That's the equivalent
cringe.
of what's happening on Kick right now. Is, listen, I like support, don't get me wrong.
Also completely different scenario whatsoever, because he doesn't actually have to do anything to receive the pennies. They just kind of come in and go away instantly, and he doesn't ever have to shout them out or interact with them at all if he doesn't want to. Where in his scenario, obviously, there's a physical kind of interaction going on there with physical money. Anyway, you get that it's stupid. I don't have to explain it to you.
But you pelting me with pennies doesn't really add up to anything significant, but it completely derails the chat. People can't even talk. Last night, I'm not kidding, people could not talk during Gears of War because there were so many kicks bouncing off the chat. You couldn't even see their text lines. It was just 1111111. Oh, look, someone said something. 111111. So
Right. So he mentioned he's complaining about his stupid pennies, and we're gonna get back to this, but we're gonna take a little break here because I don't know when else I'm gonna be able to show this to you or when it's gonna be relevant. So I'm gonna show it to you now. He mentioned Gears of War. It reminded me, so I wanted to pull it up for all of you. This is where I got the picture of DSP for the thumbnail. This was his ending to Gears of War, the stream where everybody was throwing pennies, and I just wanted to show all of you this. I felt it would be a missed opportunity if I didn't.
no! No! You vile bastards! I can't believe it.
And then he goes to like sucking a dick for some reason.
Just a little time.
DSP heard an urban style individual voice and immediately got into position, head down, bobbing. Very strange, very odd that was a natural reaction from him. But we'll go back to the very important penny throwing complaining that we're doing here. I wanted to take a little break. Like I said, had to show it, of course. I'm sure you all appreciate it.
Absolutely. There's going to have to be a way to regulate this. What I'm assuming is they're going to put the same thing in place that you could do on Twitch, where you could set it up that there has to be a minimum level of contribution, either for it to even go through or for it at least to show up in chat. Okay? That's what I'm thinking. There's no way that they're just going to let this fly forever and everyone's going to be able to go 11111. It's going to be to everyone's chat. Can you imagine right now on a big Kick streamer's chat what it must be like? Because right now,
a big Kick streamer probably doesn't have the troll base that DSP does. They probably don't have the amount of detractors and hostility and toxicity following them around like DSP. Like he should understand more than anybody, and he's probably going to say it in these clips. Actually, I believe that nobody else is like him. He's got his own situation. He's like a completely unique individual that nobody else can even like be similar to. You know how he is. But could you imagine how everybody else is if he's having this problem?
I mean, I'm a small-time guy. I have, what, 80 viewers? I'm curious. How many viewers do I have right now? I have 100 viewers. Exactly. Wow, how did I get exactly 100? So with exactly 100 viewers, we got a few people doing it. It's not that big of a deal. But can you imagine on a big Kick streamer who's like 1,000 viewers, 2,000 viewers, and everyone's flicking ones? You probably can't see the chat at all, so how are they ever going to interact with their audience, right? So
the same way they probably do now. If you've never been in a Kino Casino chat, live while they're spamming emotes and shit, it's a mess. It's almost completely incomprehensible sometimes. You have to be really searching to see anything worth of note in the Kino chat live, but they still manage it. I would imagine it would honestly be very similar. But
there has to be some kind of
DSP wouldn't know anything about that because he doesn't have a chat like that. If the chat moves too quickly for DSP, it's a problem. For other streamers, that's a normal day.
Regulation. There's no way they're just going to allow this to nonstop go down. All right. Now, FYI, this does mean that there's some changes. You probably already see one of them. I am going to be tracking kicks on my stream in increments of 100 kicks or more. Meaning if you do 100 kicks at once or higher, I'm going to count that towards my stream. I'm going to put you right here, top kicks. Right now, it's Terry Bogard who did the first 100. If someone does more than 100, they will take up Terry Bogard's spot, just like we do with every other level of contribution. Okay?
Wow. Thank you for explaining
Now
that it's going to work the same way everything else does. We really needed that. That was definitely worth all that time,
You might say,
obviously.
well, I don't understand. Why aren't you going to count the single kicks or the 10 kicks or the 50 kicks? Because it's too much. People are just going to start spamming. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, this was the first person who did 10 and 50. Forget that shit. It's got to be $1 or more. It's the same thing with tips. It's the same thing with super chats. It always has been. You got to hit that certain criteria to be counted. Okay?
All right. Sounds good.
So that's how I'm going to track it. Now, as of this morning, there is currently no way to have any pop-ups and celebrations on my stream for kicks. That's of today. I would assume this is
Dan Dark with the 5. Thank you so much, by the way. I noticed he's not blaming Kick like how he would blame YouTube if this happened. And you're gonna. That's a great observation because he's going to talk about it right now that there's not a way to see how many kicks he's made or see who sent how many without the actual notification of, hey, they sent 500 or whatever. And he will not, you're absolutely right, show the same hostility that he would show YouTube. He would go on the rant of all rants for an entire hour about how YouTube is so stupid. They don't know how to run their site. They're Silver Spoon, Ivy League, street smart, not book smart, fucking idiots who eat crab apples or pomegrapples or whatever the fuck, and they do yoga and the rant. He would do all of that for YouTube, but we're obviously not going to do it. Kick is our precious baby for some reason.
This is a brand new thing. What's now going to happen is all the services that are streaming integration services are going to run to code in these kicks, and likely within I'm going to guess a week. I'm going to guess that within 1 week, they will have the ability to actually do pop-up thank you messages for kicks. Okay? And if that's the case, I'm going to do exactly what I'm doing now with the shout-outs. If you do 100 kicks or more, I'll actually have an animation play. And then we'll have incremental, 100, 500, 1,000, for those levels. And we'll have different animations for them. Okay?
Obviously.
But I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not going to be doing every single kick or anything like that. But I like the animations. I would love to do that. I mean, I think it was a huge improvement when we actually added the animations for the streams for subs, right? I think it's awesome when someone gives a sub, you get to see the animation pop up and everything. So we are going to do that when these kicks get implemented, whenever they do, through these services, okay?
I don't care about the animation. I hate the sound effects. The sound effects have been the worst addition to DSP Space Gaming streams in a very long time, if you ask me. As obnoxious as the RGB segments are, as much as I hate hearing about his 2 PC setup and his background decorations or whatever the fuck, it's just that has been the worst.
Caveat here. All right, and what is
the
it?
sound effects
Currently,
on the money
I have no ability whatsoever
fucking terrible
to actually see how many kicks have been given to me. They didn't even code a screen yet on the Kick streamer dashboard that tracks kicks. So I have no idea last night how many actual kicks I got. Remember, I was getting 1 kick, 1 kick, 1 kick. I don't know how many there were. There's nowhere to even see that. It doesn't exist. And last night, Kick staff was in my chat. This guy named Brian showed up, and I asked him directly, is there a screen somewhere for this? And he says, no, it doesn't exist yet, but it will. So as of now, I don't even know if there'll be a significant impact on my income with these kicks. There's no way to track it whatsoever.
And I find it really odd at the DSP would ask Kick staff in his chat specifically about site changes. And maybe that's what they're there for. Maybe that's not strange. I think that it's weird to contact customer support on Twitter or Instagram as well. I think that's a weird way to do it, but people tell me that's normal. But I just feel like it's a weird thing to do in the middle of your content, to be asking about changes made to the site. Seems like a strange place for that.
Okay, so let's see what happens. Obviously, listen, I'm not going to.
Whoa, obviously DSP has to know in that exact moment. It's very vital that he can check his money at all times.
Say, hey, don't use kicks; they're too intrusive. No, right? So go ahead, please support the stream with them. I appreciate any support, I really do, and I'm hoping that it does add up, and I'm hoping that overall it will be an improvement to the support that I get on the streams, and it'll help out the business. But I hope that they quickly implement all these things that are missing, because man, it's going to suck if we have a few weeks where everything's half done and not functioning properly. Terry Bogard says, if I give 50,000 kick points, where will I go in the Hall of Fame? Well, maybe we should actually do a Hall of Fame if you guys wanted it. But you guys would have to be okay with it. I used to have.
Wait, we're gonna do a Hall of Fame? What does that mean, DSP? What could you possibly slap together that could even resemble a Hall of Fame that would be worthy of the hundreds and thousands of dollars that your dents send you? I couldn't even. You'd have to put their actual pictures up behind him. Like that's the only thing that I think would be worthy of thousands of dollars being sent to him.
That I used to have a leaderboard that would track overall contributors, but then people started getting harassed because of it. My detractors would go after those people. So then I did away with it because people were saying, oh, it was, too much of a annoying thing. You guys wanted to have like a kick Hall of Fame where we could have like, top kicker. I would maybe could create that. Maybe
Top kicker is crazy, DSP. Careful.
That we play on the streams that says, here's the current top kicks leaderboard, the people who are the top kickers who did, I did a 50,000 kick and now I get recognition for it or whatever. Okay.
And we're saying kick way too much. Doing a 50,000 kick is one of the dumbest sentences he's uttered, I think, in a while, personally.
Excuse me. We could maybe do something like that. All right. So let's see. Let's see how it goes. All right. Now, hopefully everything is going to work out fine today. Please understand, if something goes wrong with these kicks, if the chat is spammed or whatever, I can't do anything about it. I literally have no power. My hands are tied. Okay. They are. My hands are tied. Ian says, will you do badges for high kickers? Again, that's another thing. Kick does not allow you to gift out custom badges except for subs. That would be awesome. Imagine if I could assign a special badge if you're currently the person who did a 50,000 kick. I'd do that. I would make a badge and do it. But
imagine if I could identify you as a massive fucking dented whale. Dude, imagine how cool that would be. That I could put this target on your back for the internet to see. Wouldn't that be so wild?
They don't have that. That's what I mean. What I'm hoping is, yes, they launch this fast, but hopefully they'll put more thought into it and there'll be more features and things associated with it, because I would absolutely love that, to be able to gift out stuff as, rewards or thank yous to people who contribute to my streams. Okay. I guess we'll have to see what happens.
I guess.
So as of now, the kicks are in effect. You can send kicks to support the channel. Sadly, I can't track them to know how many I'm getting, but if you do 100 or more, I'll give you a shout out and I'll put you on the leaderboard and we'll go for there. Okay.
We will go for
Awesome.
there.
Someone took $2 says, you have advice on being a good cat dad?
Okay, I hope we're out of the kick segment. Timestamp this. No more kick talk, hopefully.
Sure.
Talking about being a cat
You have to
dad
be very
now.
patient with cats because cats are not like dogs. A dog, basically, you can train a dog to be very obedient and to be like a faithful companion. A cat is nothing like that whatsoever. A cat.
You can train a cat. You can train a cat to be a faithful companion. If you put it in the time and effort, you can train animals. That's maybe they're a little more difficult. Maybe they're a little more opinionated. But to pretend that you cannot train a cat is cope or dented. I'm not sure.
Is a creature that has its own personality, and you basically have to judge your cat based off of its personality type. There's 3 types. There's
and this is insinuating that dogs don't have their own personalities, or they don't have their own, likes, dislikes, opinions, as every animal does. I don't know why we're belittling dogs in this way. I don't think that he means to, but we're like elevating cats and putting them on this weird pedestal that pretty much any animal can fit into.
I forget what they actually call them because there's official names for them, but they color code them. One is like red, one is blue, and one is green. Red is like the cat is a loner and wants nothing to do with you besides food. Blue is kind of middle of the road where the cat will sometimes want to spend time with you, but a lot of the times is independent, but it's still a sociable cat. But a lot of the times it'll go off by itself. These cats usually are fine being left alone. And then you've got green cats, and that's what Jasper is.
NWO News with the 2 saying this was bait to get sound clips of him saying cat. Okay. Is that how these people get all them sound clips the way they do? Is they just bait him with segments like this? All right. Dent did give money for that, but
Jasper is the social cat. He absolutely 100% of the time wants to be with you no matter what you're doing. Seriously, you go to take a dump, he's sitting outside the bathroom, sticking his paws under the bathroom door because he wants to be with you. How dare you close the door on me that I can't be with you? Okay? So you need to learn your cat's personality type. And
So Jasper's he's a green style cat. Mojito kitty, they call him, I think. And he's super sociable, except for all of the times where DSP has said that anytime anybody ever has come over to his house to do repairs or this, that, or the other, that Jasper immediately runs away and hides as if his life is on the line. It doesn't sound like a social cat to me. I've never met a person who was an extrovert, but the second that they had to interact with somebody they didn't know, they thought it was a literal life or death situation that they had to run from. That doesn't add up, personally.
you need to adapt properly. If you treat the cat the wrong way, the cat actually might have an adverse reaction. If you have a red or a blue cat and you try to snuggle with it all the time like it's a green cat, that cat might actually be angry with you and actually start having bad behaviors because it doesn't like the way that you treat
Yeah,
it.
what's the zodiac sign of your cat? Your cat sounds like a total Virgo, if you ask me.
Okay? With a cat, you absolutely need to adhere to a diet for said cat. Do not be feeding it human foods. Even as much as people like to say, oh, cats drink milk. No, they don't. If you give a cat milk, it gets sick. They cannot digest like cow's milk like we can.
That's never stopped my cat. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a milk drinker, believe it or not. I enjoy a cup of milk, and I can't tell you how many times I've had to bat my cats away because they do like milk. They never got sick from it, and they've definitely skimmed off the top like the little rats they are.
You should research and find out per your breed of cat what the best food is and stuff like that. And you should only feed it exactly what you're supposed to give it. Like, for example, with Jasper Kitty, 1 bowl of dry food a day, and it's a special dry food that treats him for urinary tract because he's had some urinary tract infections years ago. So we give him this specialized food. Then we usually give him a wet treat once a day, and then every once in a while we'll give him a little bit of wet food also as a treat, but we buy him the good stuff, the one that's meant for like special diet. And he's good. He hasn't had a medical problem, I think, in about a year and a half, 2 years since he's had a single medical problem, okay, since we adjusted his diet. So you need to be about that. You can't just say, oh, I got a cat, let me just...
Never got an update on that blood work. I see you guys asking, because he's talking about his urinary tract or whatever. We never really did get confirmation on his blood work. We got confirmation he's been to the vet more recently than that, but never that we did the blood work.
go out and buy...
we're the greatest cat dad there's ever been. We're all knowledgeable. We can tell you everything there is to know about it.
Oh, the big bag of the dry ass food that's cheap. That's garbage. It's full of carbs. It's full of things your cat doesn't need. You know what really kills me about cats? How people have food for it that's like for humans. Like you'll go to the store to look at cat food. It'll be like, oh, look, it's beef with cheese and rice.
Uh-huh.
You have a cat.
Right.
You don't have a gourmand that's going to sit there with a fork and knife and eat it and rate the flavors. It's a cat. All it needs is the protein. It doesn't need the rice. It doesn't need the cheese. A cat should never have to eat cheese ever in its life.
Now, the same cat that I own, that drinks the milk, the little, like I said, the little rat she is, we call her a dairy girl. She enjoys cheese. If you pull out, it doesn't matter, shredded cheese, string cheese, block cheese. If you pull out cheese, this little cat will run all the way over to you, despite whatever she was doing, and try and get some. I'm not in control of that. This is her idea. Obviously, I'm not looking to just give away cheese. But DSP says they don't need that. All right, you argue with her then.
No reason for that. You understand? So that's what I mean.
And I've got another cat that enjoys lettuce. If I pop out a bag of lettuce because we're doing salads for dinner or something, he runs off with a little leaf. He loves it.
I have a million things I could tell you.
I don't think they need lettuce, but he wants it anyway.
About cats. Hopefully at least some of that has been a good initial digestion of information there. But I have a lot of things that I've learned being a cat dad. So for me, I'm looking at all these games. I'm like, wow, overall, this year, it hasn't necessarily been one of the best for gaming. But the games that stand out are all unique for one reason. They're all indie /
Oh, okay. We're talking about games now. We've moved on. I just want a hard stop so that you don't get topic whiplash here. We're moving on from cats. We're now talking about indie style games so that we can beg more, of course. I think you Sweet Papa Stovepipe, a real OG, for the $2 saying, I'm so mad at this convo. Look up Tiki Cat Food, please. Okay, I'm going to look. I'm going to let the guy play. I'm going to look it up.
Small studio games, not giant AAA releases. The AAAs have failed. They have fallen flat on their face and have miserably flunked out, while these little guys who were like the little guys that could, right? They have absolutely persevered. They have broken through that barrier to become some of the best games of the last many, many years. Okay? So that's one thing that all those games have in common.
Tiki Cat Food is a brand of cat food. They're like carnivore inspired. They're more protein. Oh, dude, they got chicken and pasta carbonara. Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Maybe your cat is a gourmand with the fork and knife at that rate.
But there is another thing that those games also have in common that I feel like I need to bring up because particularly they apply to my content and my streams. All right? Clear Obscure, Blueprints, Silksong. What is the common factor among all three of those games in regards to me and my content?
Every single one of those playthroughs was the most boring thing I've possibly ever watched in the history of ever, and I've seen some pretty god awful things. What do you have, Phil? What do you
Should I
think?
just tell you?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. The common factor is I streamed all 3 of them, and every time that I do, I cannot retain an audience at all.
And whose fault is that? Who are we mad at for that? Whose issue is this? Because I believe the person who has the issue is the one that needs to make the change. So what do we have here?
Seriously. When I start playing any of those games, I lose audience. I'll give you a perfect example. Right now, I currently have 224 viewers on YouTube. I currently have 104 viewers on Kick. And if I booted up Silk Song right now to play it, I would go down to 130 viewers on YouTube and 50 viewers on Kick. And I'm not exaggerating.
Well, why does that matter? I thought we didn't get paid off of viewers anymore. We don't care about the ad revenue because it's just a pittance to what you make on the live streams. That's where the majority of the support comes from. So it shouldn't matter if there's 130 people watching Silk Song if you hit the goal. That's explicitly what he has told us before in the past, but whatever.
But if I booted up Call of Duty, I would retain the viewership. In fact, the viewership might even go up. Wait, what? So if I play an overblown, overproduced AAA game, comes out every year, never any different, same old song and dance, repetitive game loop over and over, I can get more viewers than playing the unique, best-in-class, small-time developed, but amazingly awesome, hit it on all cylinders, amazing Game of the Year contender. Yes, for some reason, this audience will not stick around for the best games.
Now, I have a Theo theory on this. This was my own... When I listened to this live, this was my own thought process. I genuinely think that the reason that DSP can't get good viewership on good games and more often than not gets viewership on bad games, it's not only because people like to see him fail, they like to see him play the run-of-the-mill, COD slop because he gets salty and he rages or whatever. The reason I think that he can't get good viewership on good games is because his audience is just too dented to appreciate what a good game is. And anybody that is not dented enough to appreciate a good game because of the writing, the unique mechanics that are in the game, DSP is the worst person to experience those things through. He either ruins the story by his commentary, or he ruins the interesting and unique mechanics by not understanding them or interacting with them in any meaningful way. He's just the worst vessel to experience positive things through. He makes every game look worse than it is. And for that reason, why would anybody want to watch good games through him in any positive capacity? That was just my thought. Maybe it's too specific for the topic at hand. We are talking about DSP here. Maybe it's just that his audience is dented.
And I guess the question is, what gives? All right? Because I've heard.
Yeah, the short answer is DSP is the problem. Of course, that was always. I guess I shouldn't have wasted your time. You're right. My bad.
Different reasonings for this. I've heard things like, well, these games are boring. I've heard things like, well, they're so popular, people have already seen them, or we're actually playing them, so we don't want to watch. Right? I've heard all these different rationales, and maybe in truth, the actual truth of the matter is somewhere in the middle of all of them. Maybe because everyone's already playing them, you've already seen them elsewhere, they aren't so particularly fun to watch, they're more fun to play. Maybe it really is just like right in the middle, you get one of those big diagrams, and you have this percentile, so then you have the thing that overlaps in the middle. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But I want you to understand from my perspective, okay? I am the streamer, I'm the creator, I'm the one who plays the games and tries to make entertaining streams and playthroughs for all of you. The goal of the stream that I put out is to get an audience, to hook that audience, to engage and entertain that audience so that they will want to, in turn, engage with me during the stream and then reciprocate with support.
See, and this is just, you shouldn't be saying it like this. Like, I know he's the most transparent, realist motherfucker on the internet or whatever, but the idea of getting in front of your own audience and telling them that the main goal of your content is to put it in front of them, hook them, so that they give you money that's a crazy thing to say like that. Absolutely, it's disgusting. It's despicable. It's self-centered. It's not actually about the entertainment value. Then it's not actually about the meaningful gameplay and experiences that we can share with our audience. You sound like a fucking drug dealer. You sound like a nefarious person who's only after his own ill-gotten gains here, which I don't think is what he wants to be doing or should be doing. Thank you, KB, for the 10. Saying, what will it take to make this man realize that he continues to be the determining factor in why people consider his content boring? Nothing. There is nothing that you could say or present to DSP that will make him believe that he is the problem. Because in his own mind, everything that he does is as perfect as it could possibly be because he is who he is. He's Phil Burnell. That it's as simple as that. He does no wrong. So there isn't an answer, unfortunately. We'll be here until the end of time.
Okay, that's the point. That's the business model. I put out the free content. Hopefully the content is good enough for you. You like it, that you want to support it, and then I can stay in business and I can support my family and I can make a good living while you continue to get that level of quality content that you're enjoying because you supported it.
What's up, Crazy Acid Trip? Glad you can make this stream.
So if you take a look at the games that I'm playing, doesn't it make sense that I should focus on games that are going to bring in the most amount of viewers, that are going to bring in the most amount of engagement and the most amount of support?
Yes.
I think it does make sense. And if you look at Clear Obscure, Blueprints, there were sometimes those streams did well, and there were many times those streams did poorly.
Yes, the latter half of all of those streams should have never have happened. I agree, Phil. Sweet Codeine 2 should stop immediately. It should not receive one more gameplay session. We're on the same page. Crazy enough.
They were not hitting goals. Viewership was poor, but I continued to play them regardless. Why? Because I loved those games, and I knew those are Game of the Year contenders, and I need to play them, or else, number one, I'm doing myself a disservice as a gamer.
As a gamer, a status that we all hold very highly, of course. Our gamer status goes above our family, goes above our national ties, above any other in-group that you might be a part of. Being a gamer is probably the most important thing you can be.
Number two, when I get to the end of the year, there's no way that I can do like the best and worst games of the year if I don't play the best games. And number three, because quite frankly, I want to get some level of enjoyment out of what I'm doing. And not to say that I don't get enjoyment out of playing Call of Duty or something, but I feel like this job would have way less meaning to me if I wasn't allowed to play the best games. You understand? If I was told, you have to purposefully skip all the best games of the year because no one cares about them on your streams, just play this garbage instead, I would probably hate my job. I would never want to do this again. Seriously. And I understand that this is a bit.
So maybe that's the direction that we should be going.
Business and it's my job. You know, I get that. It is about support and stuff like that. But at the same time, at some point, you got to kind of put your foot down and be like, no, I'm also going to try to enjoy myself while I'm doing it. That's the point of gaming.
And a guy with long hair brought up the exact point that I had when I listened to this segment, which was, why didn't we do this for Metaphor then? Why are we drawing the line now at Sweet Codeine 2? And we're doing it at Silk Song. We did it at Claire Obscure, but we didn't do it for Metaphor, a game that DSP did actually mention on his most disappointing games or best games or whatever the fuck it was of last year. There was a complete shit show because his taste in video games is entirely dependent on monetary value, but we'll move on positively, of course. It's just weird that Metaphor, didn't get the Like a Dragon treatment where we dragged that out for like what felt like forever and nobody liked it. Very strange.
Okay? It is. Like, that's the whole idea behind video games, is that you somehow get a level of enjoyment out of it. It's not supposed to be you're sitting down to play a video game and you're grinding and it's work. That's actually not the point. I think a lot of content creators have lost that joy, that point. Oh, it's time for the daily grind, yo. I got to jump into this one game that I play every single stream and I got to go good. I have to get my placing and my ranking and I have to level up and get a certain amount of points today. That's not the mentality of someone who enjoys video games at all. And I don't.
Is it not though? Real talk, you're not allowed to be a gamer who enjoys shout out all my gamers, of course. You're not allowed to be a gamer who enjoys video games in a competitive manner where you set yourself some sort of goals and expectations in your gameplay and you would like to rise to the occasion and at least maintain some amount of skill in them. Are you not allowed to enjoy video games in that capacity anymore? Especially if you're a streamer? That seems like a weird little rule. It seems like a weird rule to set on to people, I guess.
I don't even understand it. Maybe you do. Maybe you're into the whole esports thing and shit. And, oh, my gaming is my grind. And that's how I make my living. Yo, grind this shit out today. What the fuck are you talking about? The point of video games is supposed to be enjoyment. If you're sitting there and you play a game for 5 hours on a stream and you don't enjoy a moment of it, you fucked up. You're doing it wrong. That's not the point of what was created. You understand? It's supposed to be for the joy of it. And I get it because
See, and he is the one that is apparently determining what is and isn't the point of video games, which I, you can argue is art. Like, imagine telling other people what the actual the way that you're supposed to enjoy a piece of art is. That just seems like a weird position to put yourself in. It seems egotistical to be the guy that's like, yeah, you guys aren't enjoying video games correctly. I mean, I know we do that to DSP, and it's obviously to joke and clown on him and be mean. That's what we do here. But, like, DSP is doing it, like, unironically, 100%. He means that shit because that's who he is.
it's all about money now. It's the same thing that happens with professional sports or wherever big money comes, right? Well, do you think that the pro athlete always loves what they're doing? No, but they should at the very least love the game they're playing. If they're going to make it their living and what they're going to do the most of, then they should actually have some level of enjoyment of doing it. I think that's been lost by a hell of a lot of people. Okay? Seriously.
All right.
I don't get it. So you understand where my frustration.
But DSP is the person that can't enjoy a video game unless the leaderboard at the top of the screen says 150 out of 150. Well, actually, it would say 150 out of 300, but you know what I meant. Unless it says 150 on the front half, he doesn't enjoy the game anyway. So he's in the exact same boat, just in a different way.
Frustration comes in. Best games of the year are coming out. I start playing them. I'm blown away. I love them. And the immediate feedback I get from the chat, this game's boring. Go back to Call of Duty. Go back to this other game where we get a quick laugh or whatever. We don't want to see you play this one because it's too long. That gets me. It's too long. It's too long. Isn't that supposed to be a good thing? Like, if the game has a good story, good gameplay elements, don't you want more of it?
Well, what if it has bad commentary? You would probably want, like, less of it if it had... It's like when you watch a sport and they've got bad commentators on, you might actually turn it off or at least mute it, but then, like, you would miss the majority of the... At least in DSP's case, you would miss the majority of the content that way, so you would probably just turn it off. That's more than likely what happened there.
But a lot of people, no, the game's too long. I just can't follow it. I can't tune into that stream or whatever, right? So...
Also, yes, he is the one that complains that games are too long because they don't fit into his schedule and he's got other things to get to and yada, yada, yada. Absolutely. He is exactly that person. Once again, complaining about himself.
That's what I mean. It frustrates me when I know these are the best games. I want to put out playthroughs of them and people aren't along for the ride. Instead, they say, well, I'll be back when he plays so-and-so instead. But what about this being one of the best games of the year? I don't care. So honestly, I would like your feedback on this, okay? Because here's the thing.
And I'm so disrespectful. Iwamoto sent 249 a while ago, and I never shouted him out, and he didn't at me, I don't think. I appreciate your patience. He said, viewers ruin his enjoyment. How dare they? Well, look, if they didn't act like pieces of shit in the chat, and they supported like they were supposed to, and they engaged the way that they were supposed to, and by that I mean hand-holding, then maybe they wouldn't get segments like this all of the time. You ever thought about that?
These do get support. As of now, the reason that I have kept Hollow Knight Silksong in the rotation as primarily a daytime stream is because it has worked. Every single time that I've streamed Silksong, we've hit the support goal.
That's not true. That's actually not true. And this is why I mentioned it earlier. When we talk about Silksong now, it always hits the goal. It's always been the best. There's no falter whatsoever. But we literally had to do the rollback beg code for that and the following day on Gears of War. But we're going to sit here and pretend. Thank you, Wesley H., for the 5, saying he sees himself like a pro sports player or commentator, when in reality, he's an Idaho 3 stripper that can't look in a mirror. Real. His ego is massively strong. Absolutely. Thank you, Wesley H. Calling him an Idaho 3 is wild work.
So I'm able to then keep it as a daytime stream, even though the attendance dwindles. Even though we go from 220 viewers down to 100-something, low hundreds, still I hit my support goal, so I'm able to still do that stream. Do you understand? Let's try to get some feedback, shall we?
Let's get some feedback,
tag me in the
guys.
chat.
Let's get the feedback going.
Gumbulon Prime, I'm just going to say this. What you said is so fucking stupid. He goes, gotta remember, people are here for you and you have to be entertaining.
Yes, true. 100%. At the end of the day, if the business is failing, it's because DSP doesn't operate a good business. Factual. It's actual factual. That's the only excuse you can have, is that you didn't do good enough.
Dude, if I wasn't entertaining, no one would be on this podcast, okay? No one would watch my content. No one would support it. There wouldn't be thousands of people who clip and restream. I'm entertaining. May not be for the same reasons. Some could be positive, some could be negative, but people find me entertaining, you incredible fucking idiot.
But this isn't gameplay. This is a different style of content. It's like if The Rock had, like, he's entertaining on WWE, you know, the wrestler, The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. He's entertaining on WWE, but then he does a podcast and it's not successful, and nobody wants to listen to him talk. And he's like, "Well, I'm entertaining in the ring. Obviously, I have charisma and people like me, so this is bullshit." Well, it's not the same type of content, dude. People don't like you in different situations if you don't provide the same sort of entertainment value. They're not interchangeable.
Or else no one would be here. That's the dumbest statement I've ever heard. Christian says,
Because he talks way less in video games. He can't talk and walk at the same time. So he's not providing any sort of insight to the gameplay. He's not providing any sort of, personal anecdotes during the gameplay so you can follow, like, listen to his story he's telling you and get some insight into his life. He's literally just playing the game, making base level observations you could see with your eyes, and then shouting out people who give him money while looking for people who are hand holding him. That's it. That is the gameplay experience. But we're going to pretend that's the equivalent of him talking himself in circles and getting rage baited for 2 hours straight. You can see how the entertainment value is not equivalent.
you force yourself to play a game that you don't like, it comes through. I think you should just play what you like. Well, here's the thing. I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, this is a business. I do have to have streams that are going to pay the bills. So there may be a time when there's a game that I'm not particularly liking at that moment, but maybe I'll like it better later. That's happened. There's been a few games at first I don't like, or there's moments I don't like, but overall, I do enjoy my experience. Okay. Also, to be honest, it doesn't.
So there are games that DSP doesn't hit the very first goal on, and then he inevitably hits it later on when he begs enough, and then he starts to change his mind on the game. That's what he just admitted to. Anyway, thank you, Wild Liger, for the 10. Saying, 1, this is the same guy who said, show up for games you like, then stop complaining? Really? 2, pro athletes don't beg for money while playing their sport and get drunk while doing it. Example trucks him. It's true. It's almost like every equivalent that he tries to give, every allegory or analogy, all of them are completely inaccurate because low-key the job, quote unquote, that he does on a regular basis is very unique and shares almost nothing in common with any other position in the world. He's a special snowflake like that. Thank you for the 10, Wild Liger.
Work. For example, like I've literally just talked about on this podcast, I love classic JRPGs. I would like to play more of them. I wanted to play Metaphor last year, but after playing 12 hours of the demo, we weren't hitting
12 hours of the 3-hour demo.
Any goals whatsoever, and it was my least supported stream, so I had to drop the game and never play the full retail version. Okay? That's direct feedback I got from the audience. Now, let's say I said, well, screw it, I'm playing it anyway. So now I commit to an 80-hour playthrough.
Right.
Okay? That could be upwards of 40 streams where every time I play it, I'm not making any.
That's okay, but there's already a problem there. I think, guys, I think we've figured it out. I think that we've. The problem is that you're making an 80-hour playthrough, 40 separate streams, and they're not like all consecutive. They're not even in a short amount of time. They're going to be spread over the course of like 5 months. That's where the issue, I think, is actually located.
Money. How do I stay in business? The answer is I don't. And I've had to make tough decisions like this where I have to say, this works, this doesn't. Stay with this, drop this. And there's nothing you can do. When you're an adult and you have responsibilities and this is your job, you have to make those tough decisions. Okay? A lot of people don't. This is just funny to them, their hobby. They can do whatever they want because they have a 9 to 5 outside of it. Or they're so large, they're so huge that they don't have any financial problems because they're getting thousands and thousands of viewers a stream. They're rolling in dough. Well, that's not me. I'm the normal dude. The guy who has a normal life just like you, and I sit here and I enjoy.
No. DSP does not have a normal life. He is not a normal dude. He described what the normal dude does, what the normal person does. They stream because it's their hobby and it's fun, and they have a normal 9 to 5. Or they stream at the zenith, at the pinnacle of streamers, and they make buku dollars that you could never replace, and they don't ever have to listen to anybody ever again. Those are your options. Those are your normal streamer options. DSP living the way that he does, begging for tips like this, not having a 9 to 5 is not the normality, and it never will be. This is all cope.
Games, and I have to.
He doesn't leave his house but once a week, and he's telling you he's normal. Think about that.
Play things that work for my job. No one goes to work, works an 8-hour shift, and the boss says, oh, well, you're just not getting paid for today because it didn't really help anything. Oh. I'm really hoping that at least a few days when I work this week, I'll make some money. You know, it's not how life works. So,
But he doesn't clock into a 9 to 5. He doesn't work a guaranteed 8 hours. He's not on for the 40-hour position with benefits and guaranteed time with a guaranteed salary. He picked the life of an entertainer. He picked the life of somebody that has to rely on the charity of the people that he is supposed to be entertaining. Again, it's just not equivalent. He wants to pretend like he works an office job, and that's just not the case. It's a bad mindset to have.
excuse me. I do
Yeah,
think
it's part of being an entrepreneur as well. Like when you take that position, you take that responsibility. Plenty of people that own businesses will tell you that there are portions of the time where they either aren't making money or are actively losing money to the business, and they rely on the good times in order to make it up. And he's unwilling to accept that. Every day has to be good. Every day has to be $150, and he expects it that way.
playing everything that I want to play would never work, just to be honest, okay? But I'm okay with balancing. I'm okay with balancing things so that we have enough of the things that other people want and I want, or finding that happy medium to make ends meet. Then I'm good with that. And that has been working. It has. It's just that sometimes there's tough decisions that have to be made on what gets played and what doesn't. Mute says viewer quality over viewer quantity. Now that is actually quite an important factor. Quality over quantity. All right. Why? Because you might have 5,000 viewers, but if 4,500 of the viewers are fucking trolls who hate your guts, it doesn't matter that you have 5,000 viewers. Get it? You need to have people who like who you are, who like.
Unless you're getting paid via ads, I suppose. Unless that the extra people watching you are going to boost you in the algorithm and bring you to more eyes. I mean, it's a very black and white way to look at things, DSP.
The content you put out, who will engage and support said content. Because then it doesn't matter how many viewers you have, you're still successful. That's what's been happening, honestly, with Silksong. Even though it's not a large audience for it, there are people who like the game and come and support it, so I can keep playing it. And I'm very grateful for that. I really, really am, because I love that game. It's the same thing with Suikoden right now, and that's the conundrum I'm having about Suikoden 2. Suikoden 1 was well supported.
Thank you, ICS.
Suikoden 2 is not being well supported. It is dipping in views and is dipping in support, and I want to keep it going.
It's dipping in quantity of viewers. It's dipping in quality of viewers. You guys are lacking during the Suikoden 2 playthrough, and I'm holding you accountable right now.
At this point, we're just reaching around the halfway point of the game, but I don't know if I can keep it going now because people aren't supporting it as much. You know, I really hope that today we can rally and hit the goal. I mean, here we are an hour into the podcast, almost done with the show, and I've raised what? Not even $20? That's horrible. That's not good. The whole idea was that I was trying to get a head start, so when I play Suikoden, we're good. But you see my point? Like, there's certain games that I love, that I think are great, and in some cases that the entire gaming community think are Game of the Year contenders, and I can't get people to come by the streams. And I don't know what to do about that. Buckwell says, what's the difference between yesterday's talk and today's podcast?
That's a great question, Buckwell. I ask that every single day that we do a pre-stream and then we do a not pre-stream. Great question.
Talk wasn't a talk. It was a build-up session to get attendance before we started gameplay, and it lasted about 30 minutes. The podcast runs typically 90 minutes. The podcast has set topics that we cover that I like to have as segments. You know,
except for all of those pre-streams where we hop on and say that we really don't have anything to talk about and that we don't have to do the full pre-stream. We could just do Q&A until we go and start the game, which we can start early. But we still call those a pre-stream, obviously, because we... Anyway.
Planned out show, as opposed to those build-up things are just kind of messing around and killing time. It's a different vibe, completely.
It's a different vibe. It's the vibe that makes it a pre-stream and a build-up session. Obviously. Come on. You couldn't catch the vibe?
Here's your answer. Gameplay streams on Kick are dead as fuck. IRL vlogs dominate the site. So what? What's the point of that statement? You know I can't do IRL content because of the level of trolling that I have. So you know it's not possible. So what's the point of what you just said?
To let you know why your viewership might be down on the Kick end of things. To tell you that you're not exactly in the most popular category for the website in which you're streaming. And therefore you might not be receiving the size of audience you think that you deserve. That's the point of telling you that.
How does it even apply to me? You know who I am. You know the content I make. You know that I'm completely different. Every time that you look at my situation stands apart from everyone else's because I am unique. I'm a guy who's been around for 17 years. I'm in a unique situation with the level of scrutiny that's on me every day, the level of harassment that's on me. I do things differently. What's the norm for others is not the norm for me.
So nothing that anybody could ever say should ever be relevant to DSP. And this is what I was talking about earlier. This is DSP in his I'm completely unique, nobody is like me, every situation I find myself in is explicitly exclusive to DSP. That this is exactly him. This is why he can never take any sort of advice, nor criticism, nor commentary on the things that he does, because he genuinely thinks that nobody could even fathom the positions that he's put into, because he's so unique and interesting.
I get good support from Kick for gameplay. I do. Between the subs, the viewership, and now these kicks that are going to be coming, I get good support. Do you really think that I would be co-streaming on Kick if I didn't get anything out of it? Of course I did.
Well, that flies in the face of what, the past 2 weeks where he was complaining about only receiving like 2 or 3 subs the entire week, and how it was Kick's fault that he wasn't hitting the goals, and Kick support has been way low, almost non-existent. Where'd they all go? You guys remember all of that? We said all that bullshit about Kick for the past how many weeks in a row, and now we're gonna be, well, guys, I'm way up on Kick. Of course I'm making money. It's actually pretty good.
So your point is a moot point. It doesn't apply. It's invalid. I don't even know what you're trying to say. So the thing is, I get people who are trying to be like helpful, but they don't understand that the way that they're saying things, it doesn't help. Like one person just says, you're overcomplicating things. If you absolutely never talked about income, if you never talked about support, if you didn't have goals, if you just played games and had fun, you'd be successful. Wrong.
Right. Oh, okay. Apparently that's
Wrong.
wrong.
You want to know how I know that? Because I've been doing this for 17 years, and I have the track record to show that just doesn't work.
Okay, but do you think that the problem is something else? It's like, I'm gonna put it into a real job sense here. It's like if people had a real job and they tell him, oh, all you got to do is work hard at work, and then like people leave you alone, and you can just get paid, and that's that, and you go home. And then he goes, no, it's not like that, because I've tried it and it didn't work. Well, then maybe the problem is you, Phil. Maybe people are taking an issue with you personally. They don't like the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you work, the things you recommend to change around the workspace. They don't like your inclusions at the board meeting or whatever. If it works for other people but it's not working for you, the problem might be you.
There was a time when I didn't have to do that shit, right? There was a time when everything was based off ad revenue and things were good. Those times are long fucking gone, dude.
Right. This is DSP confirming that there was a time in which he didn't actually have to focus on making content people enjoyed, and instead just had to make people click. That's what changed. People actually have to enjoy the content enough to reach into their own wallets now, rather than just click on a video and let it infinitely play in the background forever.
Long gone.
Hence the infinite, obviously.
In fact, the only streamers that don't have to talk about support are the streamers that have gone viral. The ones that hit the algorithm and they get thousands and thousands of viewers a day, they don't ever have to mention goals or income. Literally every other fucking streamer does it. All right? I'm just going to say this as clearly as I can say it. You're wrong.
Right.
You don't know what you're talking about. You don't do this for a living. You wish you could. You watch.
See, and I think that's where this is just the ego of DSP. This is the delusions of a mad lol cow. To think that everybody wants to do what DSP does. To think that everybody out there has an inclination to want to stream and play video games poorly and be mocked and belittled on the internet for pennies at a time sometimes, right? I just don't think that that's the case. I know plenty of people who are completely happy working in real life and not doing any sort of entertaining online whatsoever. It's not just jealousy that makes people hate you, DSP. It's that you're a piece of shit.
Big streamers, and then you try to apply that to small-time people. That's not fair. In fact, that's insane. It means you're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. Your opinion is invalid.
All right.
I've tried different things. It doesn't work. When I bring up income and goals, I make them. When I don't bring up income and goals, no one contributes.
And that should be telling. That's sad and pathetic, and should inform you of the current status of your business and the content that you produce on a regular basis. How are you not getting this?
It's pretty simple. Cause and effect. No, see, this is what I'm saying. Someone just tipped $1.50 and said, I do see some people playing games like Suikoden and Hollow Knight and getting 1,000 viewers.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm trying to bring up. Do you understand?
Yeah, the Rad Brad has never begged, as far as I've heard, and he plays basically every game under the sun, and he gets regular viewership for it, and he makes a living. He's not the biggest guy on the planet. He doesn't have an infinite amount of views. He's not, I show speed. He's not Kai Cenat or anything like that. Bro just plays games, uploads the shit, and there it is. Has a good life.
It's not that I'm not successful. It's not that I don't have an audience. It's that the majority of that audience doesn't want to see me play these games that seem to be the best of the year. So what do I do?
What do I do?
Do I adapt? Do I not play those games? Do I play them in a different method? Am I doing something wrong? Because it's not that I don't have an audience. I do. And that audience shows up and engages and in general supports my content, or else I wouldn't make a living. So then what is it about these particular games? That seems to be the answer that it's eluding me. And I'll be honest with you.
I already gave my answer.
Things
so.
that I do think it is, to be honest, is you have newcomers that come by every once in a while.
Right.
They come to the stream.
Right.
And they see me playing a game and they get interested. Oh, wow, this is Darkside Phil. I've heard so much about this guy. Let's actually check out the stream.
No, I'm not. All right. I'm going to say I'm not convinced that anybody shows up to a DSP stream and it goes, this is Darkside Phil. I've heard so much about this guy. Let's check it out. I don't. Very, very odd mindset to come into DSP with.
Watch the stream, and at the end of the stream, they'll be like, I don't understand. All these people on the internet say this guy is like the devil. They say he's a scumbag. They say all he talks about is money. Literally, that didn't happen in this stream. Yeah, he brought it up a few times, but that's not what it was all about. He didn't berate the viewers. He didn't attack.
Well, then they're dented. Like this fictional viewer that he's created is dented and doesn't know, doesn't remember things that happened 5 minutes ago. If he thinks that the entire stream wasn't about money, he cannot recall 5 minutes.
Attack people. In fact, that was an entertaining stream. Okay, so then they show up for their second stream. But then the second stream happens to be a game that I have to pay attention to the game. And then the troll brigade moves in. And they come in with their 100 accounts saying nasty things. Awful things, right?
And then you ban all of those accounts and your mod team rolls in and they roll them up. So
bots, spam accounts, attacking, or they're in kick chat, they enjoy their first night, but then you get a more sarcastic group. And this group is here to just basically dump on me and be toxic, right? Then that person says, oh, I'm going to do a super chat to support Phil because I like these first 2 streams I attended. So they do a super chat. And within 24 hours, they have 20, 30 people who are spam messaging them on their X account and their TikTok saying, hey, fuck you for supporting Darkside Phil, you piece of shit. You scumbag. Now we're going to harass you. Now we're going to dox you. And they fucking post their shit up on Kiwi farms. They're doxing shit. So why do you think I can't get a positive audience for games?
Because you suck. Like the all of the parameters that you would have to meet in order for this to be the exact case that the DSP is laying out, right? It's just completely ridiculous. This has maybe happened one time in the history of ever, but DSP is he's writing this down in his history book as the reason why his business is routinely not hitting the goal. It's not meeting expectations because of this one fictional scenario that, like I said, has maybe happened once. Exactly like that. Obviously, people get harassed for supporting DSP. I won't deny that. But to pretend that this scenario plays out this way exactly like that, and that's why we don't have it audiences, it's fucking cope, dude. It's incredibly, incredibly embarrassing cope.
Honestly. Why? Because now it's starting now to the point where I have changed so much in the last couple of years. And it's not just, oh, it's him. It's the quality of the content I'm putting out. No longer can you say his quality sucks.
Yes, you can.
All his equipment's outdated. He doesn't try. He doesn't set anything up. Look at the setup. I set up all this shit for this morning. These lights and everything. Oh, no, it's not that.
What does that mean? I set all of this shit up this morning. He didn't put him, he didn't attach him to the wall just before the stream. He didn't completely rearrange anything. He changes the background decorations, once a fucking month? If that even? He comes in, opens up his phone, goes onto an application and clicks fucking blue for the day and expects you to act as though this is some sort of high quality stream that could never be replicated by anybody else and deserves your entire fucking direct deposit straight into his bank account. That's what you're supposed to believe here.
It's not that I don't put in effort. I'm here 6 days a week streaming full time, double streams. It's not that I don't have the equipment. It's not that I don't have the personality. It's that when people try to be positive new people, they get fucked with. So why would they stick around? Don't you think that after your first, second, third stream experience where there's a bunch of toxic jerks in the chat that I can't moderate, and then you're getting harassed for liking my content, don't you think people are going to leave? So how on earth could I ever grow? How could I ever get an audience for the hot new games that are popular like Claire Obscure or Blueprints or Silksong when people can't even have a safe environment to be in when they're on my streams?
But then if that's the case, if we're going to pretend as though detractors are scaring off all of these dents that could be, then why are you getting viewership for the bad games? Is this only happening on new games? The detractors have zeroed in on all of the new big game releases and have plotted and thwarted the new dents from coming in? Like this is some sort of master plan? Is that what we're supposed to believe? That's the narrative? I just find that incredibly hard to believe. In all honesty, I just don't believe that's the case. Thank you, Paul Turner, for the 13 months, saying a 43-year-old man is still complaining about what he's allowed to do. Arrested Development. Yes. Well, when you're beholden to people for your entire life, I would imagine that it would get grating at some point. And unfortunately, he's put himself in such a position in which his dice are held by a select few, and they only roll certain ways against his will. So, thank you, Paul Turner, for the 13 months.
Right? And then if they try to search for my content, they get Phil is a greedy asshole. Phil did this, and I didn't do it at all. It's completely live, completely fabricated. Phil.
Okay, but what about all the times that you did do all of those things that people say? What about when that's the scenario? Are we not going to talk about that? We're going to pretend that didn't happen?
Did this horrible thing. Phil crashes out on stream, and all you do is you watch the clip, and it's just me reacting to like a cheap death on a game. You know, like everyone does on a gameplay stream. But Phil crashing out, that's the clip. See, Phil's an awful person. He crashed out. So what do you think is going to happen? Do you think I can even affect any of that stuff? It's an honest question. Could I affect any of that? Could I change any of that?
Yes.
I would like to have a positive audience that comes by for the good new games.
If DSP doesn't want people making videos talking about how he's crashing out or rage quitting games, then he needs to stop crashing out and rage quitting games. That's it. You don't get to complain about how people perceive you and then continue to make the decisions that make people perceive you that way. That's not how this works. Again, the responsibility is on DSP to exhibit the behavior that he wants people to remember him for. He needs to exhibit the behavior that he wants people to talk about. And unfortunately, he doesn't seem to understand that.
I want to enjoy them. Why is it that I have to really struggle through certain styles of games that are the best of the year? But then if I just simply play a game that has like a repetitive game loop again, like Call of Duty, then it goes well. I don't get it. To be honest with you, I don't get it because it used to be the opposite. It used to be people were here for the big chill games. They were here for Heavy Rain, for The Walking Dead. It didn't have to be a bunch of crazy gameplay. It could just
wait. Let me run it back because I see Felipe Faxter in the kick chat on DSP's end, and I want to read this. He sent a paragraph. I love a good paragraph. Saying you may be downplaying the crash out a little. Seeing as you are in different circumstances as other streamers, I think the crash outs aren't positive style. Expecting such high support from such a small audience at DSP Gaming Real. And this is real advice. This is real advice from an actual troll. And once again, DSP's not going to listen to it because it's critical. Thank you, Vikes, for the 2-month membership. Big ups. I'm glad I can take your scam money, your gambling money. Saying positive new person is one that gives him money immediately. And it's 99% a sock 99% a sock account of an old viewer. It's true. No money, and he won't even acknowledge them. Absolutely. There's no authentic chat reading from DSP on a regular basis unless you're giving money or holding his hoof in the video game. The hoof. That's it. That's the only time you get it. So, absolutely right. Thank you, Vikes, for the 2 months.
Opposite. It used to be people were here for the big chill games. They were here for Heavy Rain, for The Walking Dead. It didn't have to be a bunch of crazy gameplay. It could just be us relaxing and enjoying my company while I do commentary over a game like that. People loved it. Now it's, well, that's boring. Right? I don't even know what else to say. Well, guys, I think I've gabbed enough, but I do want to say...
I agree. I think you've gabbed
please,
enough.
Let's get some support so that now, when I'm playing Suikoden 2, I don't have to worry the entire stream that it's going to be the dead stream. Let's go. We got no subs on Kick today. There was one resub. We got no subs at all. No memberships. The tips have been $1 each.
You guys think I would be streaming on Kick if I wasn't making money? Oh, by the way, we have 0 subs on Kick so far.
Can we please get some support? So when I'm playing Suikoden, it's like, well, it's another dead stream. We literally just had 8 or 9 straight streams of hitting the goals. Can we stop? Can we break this fucking pattern? I'm serious. I'm pissed at it now. This is a good game I'm about to play. Now, you might not agree or you might not respect the classics, and that's okay. But you at least respect my content, or else you wouldn't be here in a positive capacity.
You wouldn't be here in a positive capacity. Well, I have a sneaking suspicion that most people are not, in fact, here in a positive capacity. He's so fucking salty, though. And this was the moment in the live stream where I was like, man, this has to be on the stream. The second that he goes, oh, I'm actually getting pissed off. This is a good goddamn game. Even if you don't respect the game, you gotta respect me. Yeah, fuck yourself, you. Thank you, Adam Corona, for the 4 months. think it's really hard having to play video games for a living and having to deal with mean trolls. Please be nice to the pig, Atlas. Pretty please. Well, I'll think about it just for you, Adam. Thank you for the 4 months. Okay, I've thought about it. No.
Let's get some goddamn support.
I appreciate
right
your
now,
4 months nonetheless.
so that when I play this game, I don't have to fucking worry about this shit. Let's go.
Let's go. Come on. Not pause. He's just scanning. He's lurking. He's looking.
I'm seriously skipping all this bullshit. Everyone's sending me $1 tip with toxic stuff, so just ignore this nonsense. Fuck
He's
you.
so angry.
Fuck you. Fuck these 3 dippy doos. There you go. All 3 morons. Fuck off. I'm not reading any of your messages because you're all trolls and you can kiss my ass. Okay.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah.
Go. I got the drip. Go.
Thank you, Pope Super Kame. I know your real last name, Jizzler, for the 17 months saying pig ups. We are so close to the crash out of crash outs. Start stocking up on popcorn because it's going to be an entire feature length motion picture. Hell yeah, dude. I'm fucking counting on it. Honestly, if he would have done both of these segments, this one and the one I'm about to show you back to back, it would have been a full feature length film of Crash Out. Between the health segment and that, it's 2 hours.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort,
Cody.
drip, snort, snort.
I got the drip. Go.
And just Kyle with the 5. Thank you so much. Saying, let's get some god-dang support right now. Let's go. Thank you for the 5, Kyle. And apparently Wesley H agrees because he sent in the 10 saying this man doesn't hear himself. He just complained about trolls clipping crash outs and acting like it's nothing when this begging is what annoys fans new and old. He will never grow or change. Well, complaining about clipping crash outs and then immediately crashing out afterwards and telling people that they have to be respecting him in a positive capacity on the stream or whatever. Yeah, absolutely. Guys never gonna grow up. Never gonna mature and never gonna get it.
By the way,
Thank you
everyone
for
is
the
complaining about this shirt. You guys don't like this shirt? Why not? A bunch of people on Kick is what it is, are complaining about the shirt. You guys
Fucking
don't like the
losers
shirt.
on
What's wrong?
Kick.
Can someone explain? What don't you like about the shirt? The collar is fucked up. The collar is meant to sit basically kind of like this. Like, for example, here, you want me to do this?
Yeah, go
Maybe
ahead.
I'll do this. If this would make it
Please
look
give us
better,
the shirt
and
segment.
you guys would stop complaining. All right? That's how it's supposed to be. Like, you're supposed to have an
This
undershirt.
collar's
You're supposed to have it
wonky.
open like that.
It's
Do you like it like that
fucked.
better if I button the shirt?
It's true.
It's a big deal. If it's a big deal, I'll button the shirt. I don't care.
It's just crooked. It looks like the one tab is bigger than the other
If
one.
it bothers people, I don't give a shit. Does it look better now? Seriously? Does it look better now? It's either that or I'm going to take it off. It's one or the other. I just don't want to hear people talk about it all night. I really don't want to hear people complaining about the shirt all night. I was trying to play Silk Song earlier today, and everyone's complaining about the shirt, talking about the shirt, not the game. Like, oh my God. Okay.
And it's so funny that he was perturbed enough to remember. It genuinely does bother him when people are talking about his clothing in this capacity, which I think is hilarious that he gives enough of a shit to recall that people were even talking about it.
Of course, Facehugger, of course it's probably fake criticism. They're just trying to get attention or whatever, right? I get it. I mean, this is a chill night stream. I don't have to look nice for it. I can take the shirt off, too. If you think that this doesn't look good buttoned, if you want me to take the shirt off, I can take it off. I'll just have the undershirt. I don't give a shit.
What?
All right? How about this?
Like, this night stream was already off to a weird start when he immediately went on about his shirt and then offered to take it off if people thought it was weird. Like, how many day streams have we done where people complained about his overshirt because the t-shirt underneath was too long or it was a shitty color, whatever the fuck. And he was like, I'm gonna fucking flex on these trolls and point out my hyper fixation on the sleeves or whatever, you know? But now on this weird fucking night stream, we're willing to take it off because they want it? I don't know, man.
If we hit the goal, I'll take the shirt off. There you go. When we hit the support goal tonight of 150 of support across all venues, all avenues, I will take the overshirt off and I will just have the undershirt on for the rest of the night. How about that? There you go. There's your big reward for the night. Also, tonight, I've got to bring this up. Tonight, we have a goal over on Kick. I don't know if you guys can see it.
No way.
The goal for this week for Kick subs was 25. That goal. So how about that? Either if we get to a total of...
All right. Glad we could skip over that since
So one or the
it
other.
means
We're
nothing.
going to get 10 subs right now on Kick, or we're going to get 150 total across YouTube and Kick. How's it going to go? Let's go. Either that or I'm going to keep the shirt on. Actually, you know what? I'm going to unbutton the shirt again to bother people.
See, and this is completely unwatchable content in any authentic like sense. I don't believe that anybody is genuinely enjoying the piss off my chat by talking about my shirt for multiple minutes at a time segment in a legitimate capacity. There's just no way. This is for trolls. This is for detractors. This is for the people that clip. This is to keep him relevant in a negative way. I can't be unconvinced of this because it's so not funny. It's so in your face, obnoxious, even to his own legitimate fans, that I'm not convinced they could even enjoy this.
I'm gonna unbutton the shirt and bother you with the unbuttoned shirt until we hit the goals. All right, we either need
It's
10
just so
subs
unlikable.
or the full 150, and the shirt will come off. But otherwise, I'm leaving it like that. There you go. How do you like them apples? That's how I roll. Exactly. 200 IQ move by Phil. Exactly right. That's how I roll. Why am I giving you something you want for free? Absolutely not. The shirt stays open. Okay? Wow, you guys are something else. So, guys.
Yeah, the chat is something else, as he's actively clown mode acting at his own terrible fucking jokes that nobody else thinks is funny. You guys are something else. Thank you, Sweet Papa Stovepipe. Right there. Or the 5 saying this is worse than the vest goal. Somehow. The stripper P. It's true. He is the Twitch thought that he was writing against all those years. It was finally time for him to turn the tides on this Twitch thought style war he was fighting and instead start taking his clothes back off.
Let's go. Let's get some subs on Kick right now. We got to hit 10 subs by the end of this Chill with Phil stream. Then we complete my goal for the week. And then next week, what we'll do is we'll set a realistic goal for the whole 7-day week. You figure with a 7-day week and a marathon, that probably we should try to get a lot of subs next week. All right, we'll see. But please, let's hit that goal tonight. Here we go. Someone took the dog.
He took extra days off this week for God only knows what fucking reason. And the audience is supposed to be giving more money because he's working more next week, I guess. He's supposed to get more money this week for the long week he's doing next week. Sure, man.
Saying, your mouth is skewed to the side. Yes, it's called my face. It's literally called my face. You understand? I've never had a symmetrical face my whole life.
He's drooping.
Until recently, I didn't have high-quality visuals, so no one fucking noticed. I always had a camera that was low pixely quality, fuzzy shit, bad lighting, and it was always at like a crappy angle. Now I have a camera that's dead center pointed at me. I have another webcam that's even closer to my face. I mean, also, people are like, oh, your hair's not even. Yeah, I know. It hasn't been even like my whole life. I've always had an issue where the hairline here was further back, and the hairline here was further forward. I know that I am losing some hair probably like right here, and I understand.
It's just like, why is he pointing all of these things out? Why is he drawing attention to them? He could have just never have mentioned his drooping, slanted mouth. He could have just not mentioned the fact that he has muscle spasms on different sides of his face regularly that are not in sync with the rest of his face. He didn't have to mention his asymmetrical hairline. He doesn't have to mention his balding, nor the fact that his t-shirts are too long. Like, he's just drawing more attention to things that people make fun of him for. For what reason?
But I've never been symmetrical, all right? That's how God made me. I'm okay with it. My wife's okay with it. That's
I'm not convinced God made me.
I don't give a shit. If my mouth is crooked, my hair is crooked, my ass is crooked, whatever it is, nobody should care unless you're an obsessive fucking weirdo. Thanks for the $1 tip, obsessive fucking weirdo. LTG is perfectly symmetrical. Are you fucking kidding me? First of all, LTG does not even have any high-quality shit in his setup at all. It's all fucking fuzzy shit. And number 2, he has glued-on hair. His hair is fucking fake. He touches it, and the whole thing moves together in one piece.
Is this factual? Can anybody confirm that this is actually a thing that happens? LTG touches his hair and it moves in one piece, or is this actual drivel from the guy that has never happened before? I've never seen this, and I think I've seen plenty of LTG, clips where this would have happened if it was something that existed, but I don't think it is. I mean, his hair is dyed. That's fine.
Get the fuck out of here. Anyway. Anyway, all right. What would you guys like to talk about? Tronsgate Legacy asks, do you think your voice has genuinely changed over the years, or do you think it's just the microphone quality? Well, it's both. Okay, number 1, just take a look at my setup back in the day versus today. Back in the day, I had a camera, a digital camera that was pointed at my television. It had a tiny little microphone in it that would pick up the ambient noise of all the stuff in the room, the noise of the TV, the game, and my voice from behind. It sounded awful, but it also kind of sounded like you're in a room playing a game with someone sitting next to you, right?
Right, and the room was as terribly built as possible for any sort of audio experience whatsoever. But please keep in mind that for years and a decade even, DSP was coping and saying that it was actually the better setup, and that this was the way that games were meant to be enjoyed through the internet via Let's Plays, and that it was actually ideal. But of course, now looking back, we don't think so.
So because of that, I had this certain cadence and sound to my voice. If you actually listened to some other videos, like for example, sometimes I would go out on a trip and I would have a Handycam camcorder. And if you listen to that, it sounds different. And a lot of people would even comment on the video, oh, you sound different in these videos. Yeah, because it's a different kinds of camcorder versus this digital camera. And then when I went to direct capture and I started using a dedicated microphone and other things, my voice sounded completely different. And people were like, whoa, what happened to your voice? Now that I'm using another new microphone for just under a year, right? I got this in what, December, January, I think.
And it sounds almost exactly the same, if not worse, than the microphone that he had previously. But be prepared to hear him talk about how much better it is.
I think it was January I got it, right? Now we're using new hardware, new software, different filters. I'm going to sound different again, all right? So when you change equipment, you're going to sound different. Now listen to this, ready? And now I sound different too, because now I'm talking close to the mic at a lower volume, and the microphone picks up your voice differently depending on the distance that you are from the microphone. See that? So now I actually...
Bro, he's actually pig-splaining that the distance from the microphone has an effect on how it comes through. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? This is a lesson that was learned by 10-year-olds back in the day in Xbox Live lobbies when they would swallow the microphone for comedic effect. Nobody needs this. Nobody needs this pig-splained to them. This is a useless fucking segment.
You sound even
and completely uncomfortable, because I haven't yet to see a single person who legitimately enjoys the DSP ASMR segment.
more like deep and high definition. I'm not doing anything different with my voice, but I sound different because I'm closer to the microphone. Now that I'm sitting back naturally, I sound different again, right? Fair enough, okay? Now, has my voice actually changed over the years as well? Yes. Why has my voice changed? Because for the last 17 years of my life, I have sat down in front of some kind of a camera or video recording device and talked for hours on end. This is a speaking job, just like anyone who starts on the radio. If you listen to their voice like early on, and then if you listen to them many years later, their voice will change. It absolutely will. You'll still recognize their voice because it sounds a little different. You know, listen to Howard Stern from way back in the day when he was broadcasting from New York City. And
everybody sounds different when they get older. Who is he pig-splaining this for? This is the way that human beings exist. This is the way that life goes on. Your grandparents will sound older as they age. Your parents will eventually also sound older as they age into being fucking grandparents, I hope, right? So, like, what are we're just talking about aging as a reality of life for some reason. And we're coping about it, talking about, oh, it's because I've been talking for 17 years as an entertainer. Look at Howard Stern. This is a completely normal phenomenon that happens to everybody all over the world every single day. But we're unique because of our position as an entertainer, of course. Paul Turner came through with the 5. Thank you so much, Paul Turner, saying, sick of hearing how unique Phil is when he acts exactly like every other vulnerable narcissist lolcow. There should be studies on these people. Absolutely. We need to get DSP's brain after he's passed, of course. I think Paul Turner's behind. He was earlier, and I want to say that's the second time he sent through a super chat, and it's, I believe, related to a past topic. So I guess we'll see one day.
Listen to him today on Sirius,
in the
he
chat
sounds
in like
different.
40
Same
minutes.
voice, you
Talking about
recognize
I was
the person,
behind.
but he definitely sounds different. Talking changes your vocal cords. I can tell you this: when I was younger, I used to be able to sing and hit high notes. I could sing incredibly high notes all the time, nail them. I can't.
He could not. If he's talking about at the beginning of his YouTube career, he's never been able to hit nor hold a note ever and make it sound good at least.
Do that anymore. When I try to do that, my voice cracks. And there's nothing I can do about that. I got older, my vocal cords changed, things are different now, okay? So that's what happens. And I guarantee you, in another 17 years, which I still hope I'm doing this in another 17 years because I love it.
Oh my God, I fucking hope not, dude. Could you imagine 17 more years as DSP content creation continues? Holy shit. And it's actual endless slop. You couldn't stop the slot machine.
It's the best job I've ever had. I bet my vocal cords will sound different again. People will be comparing
And
it
the
be like,
fact that that's his plan is to continue to do this for 17 years. It's the only plan that he has. Like, this is all he will ever be able to do. If this doesn't work, he's got nothing.
my God, he sounds so different, right? By the way, if my shirt is bothering you, I already told everyone tonight, if we hit the goal tonight, I'll take this shirt off and I'll just wear the undershirt. All right? Or if we get 10 gifted subs on Kick, of which we have 0 right now, then I'll also do it because we have a goal to get 10 more subs on Kick by the end of tonight's stream. That's my weekly goal, and I want to hit that goal. So if I get 10 subs, I will do it. Okay? Cool.
Great.
Let's go.
Thanks for the
Jade
reminder.
is here. How are you, Jade? He says, how's everything been going with tips recently? Very good. Take a look. We're at 7 of 10 already. Remember, Jade, just a few days ago, we did the...
Why is Jade asking about how tips are going? You see how this is like a weird thing to have happen? Nobody ever joins the Atlas stream or the Act the King streams that we do on WPIG, and they go, "Hey ALT, hey Atlas, how are the super chats coming? Are we doing good? How's that been?" Nobody ever does that. You want to know why? Because it's weird. It's weird that anybody would be concerned about the finances of the stream behind the scenes style. Your audience shouldn't care, nor should be asking.
DSP tries it for Taco Bell. Well, guess what?
Yeah, how's
Look how
the
close we
money,
are to doing it when
Atlas?
DSP tries it. It's been quite good this week. We've had crazy amounts of support. It's been exceptionally good. And I'm hoping to hit another goal tonight to end the week on a high note. We're now at 23 out of 150, and that's 3
Jade
gifted
the
subs,
sneak
so
diss
7 more,
champ.
and I'll take off the shirt. Okay?
You can never really pin any sort of animosity towards him, can you? That would be a kind of a disrespectful thing to do.
Am I worried that doing a monthly marathon loses its special feeling? No, because we're doing something different every month. All right. The exception was last month where we actually did 2 marathons that were both Mega Man. But every month,
Yeah,
is
and they
different.
both
This month is
sucked.
worst games. Next month is a Halloween marathon where I dress up and we're gonna have horror themed games. We're gonna do something special in November. I'm not sure what yet. And
Adam Corona with the 5 asking, is it rude to assume that Jade's house is built like a skate park? Well, it does have to have ramps on it, doesn't it, to some extent? So I guess in that capacity, you would be correct. It just, how many ramps do you think a skate park has in it? Or are you thinking like they've got like a half pipe or something for him to come down the stairs to? That would be sick if he had to drop in every time he had to go get dinner. Hell yeah, dude.
then we got the Christmas marathon, right? Every month, because it's different, it feels fresh. If I was doing the same kind of marathon every month,
Fucking
it would be
sick.
boring, but that's why we don't do that.
Yeah,
Why do I
he's a
laugh like
sick
Arthur
flip
Fleck?
ton. Exactly.
To my knowledge, Arthur Fleck is a fictional character that was created a few years ago for a movie. I'm a person that's existed since 1982. If anything, Arthur Fleck laughs like me. So keep that shit to yourself. What a dumb question.
I agree.
So, all
it
right,
wasn't
here's the
funny and
thing,
it wasn't
I think-
important.
I don't know if
missed
you
it,
guys want to
missed
talk
it.
about this tonight or we should save this for the podcast on Saturday when I come back. There is a big problem right now trying to figure out what to do with Ghost of Yote. All right, to be frank with all of you, I
Okay.
don't know if I'm
So here is the not drama style creator DSP telling you about all of the drama involved in the video games that he's thinking about playing. Thank you, Retro, for the 5. Thing, love you, Atlas. Well, I love you too, I think. Don't tell the Atlas. Just checking to make sure the super chats are coming in nicely. Well, that one did. Maybe we could use this, maybe like a second one to verify as a test style goal. Not to be too much like the guy, but
going to play it. And
thank you, Retro, for the 5. I appreciate it.
I'm starting to get pretty upset. Here's why. When I started as a YouTuber 17 years ago, and I was just doing this as a hobby and having fun, it was just about, hey, there's a new game coming out, play it, do a playthrough, whether it's a good or bad game, make fun of it or enjoy it either way. Great playthrough. Here we go. Very enjoyable. We'll watch, right? Today, it's like,
Very enjoyable is a big assumption to make, I think, but we'll move
Well,
on.
are you going to play that game? Oh, by the way, are you aware of all the politics that are involved with that game? Do you know of the entire voice acting cast, what their political beliefs are? Do you know if the writer or the director of the game or the game devs involved, did they do anything political on the internet to piss anybody off? Because if they did, we don't want to see that game. We don't support that game. We want nothing to do with that game.
Right.
And I'm going to be honest, it's starting to piss me off.
Then don't interact with it. Don't care. Continue to play the games that you want to. Support the business practices that you agree with. If you don't care, then buy the games as if you don't care. I don't know what else to tell. Like, I don't know what the solution is. Tell DSP other than do what you believe, which I think is what everybody should be doing. And he wants to say things like, oh, back in the day, 20 years ago, nobody used to bring up the politics of the people that are making these video games. Well, they weren't nearly as outspoken back in the day, I don't think. They didn't have social media pages back in 2002 or whatever the fuck, 2008 even, where they wanted to tell you how they felt about this political situation or that one. So I mean, it's just a new territory. This is what happens when you put your beliefs in front of people. They judge you based off of that.
If I want to play a video game and enjoy it on a video game quality level, why do I have to do painstaking weeks of research to find out what are the controversies around the development of this game before I play it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm tired of it. And in this case,
Then
Ghost of
don't.
Yotei, that's what's happened. First of all, apparently the main character's voice actress is an LGBT activist. She's a lesbian who apparently has had all these problems on the internet, and now people are coming out and trying to expose her, and they're posting her information up. And, oh, she's against rich people and making money, but then she posted up a GoFundMe to go on a trip to Japan, and she raised $90,000 of money. I don't care.
Right?
I literally don't give a fuck.
You see how he had all of that information without doing weeks of research, as he was calling it? You see how that all of that information was presented to him via the dents in his own chat or via his own Twitter algorithm? So it's not like we have to do all that much work to gather this information. It's actually presented to him on a regular basis. It's just up to him whether or not he does anything about it. So what is this segment for? We're just crying to cry?
But people are all about this on the internet. They're freaking out about this. Then, just in this last week, we had the crazy, insane, very unfortunate Charlie Kirk assassination here in the United States. And apparently one of the game developers, one of them, out of the zillion that worked on this game.
Obviously, all zillion game developers over at Sony, a real number that is quantifiable and actual.
One of them posted up stuff on social media that they were happy that Charlie Kirk had passed away. And so immediately the internet went in an uproar. How dare someone do that? Boycott Ghost of Yotei. Fire this person. So Sucker Punch fired them. Sucker Punch actually fired this person. But now everyone's on the internet's like, boycott it. Don't play it. Don't do it. Don't support a company like that. And meanwhile, here I am in the middle. I'm like, geez, all I wanted.
What do you mean you're in the middle? What do you mean you're in the middle? Buy the game or don't buy the game. You don't have to explain yourself to these people. And if they feel like you owe them an explanation, they're not your real fans, I guess. They're not going to back you up for the content that you make. Just fuck them. Who cares? Again, this segment, this is Chill with Phil, by the way. Somebody just wanted to remind us. I just seen where did it go. You're not getting a shout out now. I lost it. I'm too dented to find it. But this is a Chill with Phil segment, and we're up here talking about political assassinations and politics of video game developers and how DSP is put into the middle of it. What is chill about this? How is this a relaxed style experience with the guy? I don't understand.
To do is play a video game. Serious, it's all I wanted to do. That's it. I just wanted to enjoy a video game that's a sequel. Well, not really a sequel, but I guess it's kind of the next one in this iteration or whatever, right? I wanted to enjoy a game that is the follow-up to a game that I very, very much enjoyed from 2020. That I thought that a lot of people basically downplayed because they wanted to make games with a political agenda to the forefront, and they picked other games as their Game of the Year picks when Ghost of Tsushima, quite frankly, was the best game of 2020. Okay?
What beat out Ghost of Tsushima? I thought that game won Game of the Year. Am I mistaken? I thought that was the case.
So, now, do we play it or not? Here's the thing. I feel like I'm between a rock and a hard place, and here's why.
Oh, The Last of Us was? Okay. Last of Us 2? All right. Okay, so that's what he meant by games with political agenda.
Play
Gotcha.
Ghost of Yotei. Here's what's going to happen. People are going to come to the stream and be like, why?
Yeah, in the Charlie Kirk assassination, DSP is the actual victim. It's true. Somehow, all roads lead back to DSP as a victim. It doesn't matter where it comes from, what happened. It's always a negative on the guy. And that's why you guys should give him more money, obviously.
Are you playing this game? How dare you? Aren't you aware this is a woke game? Aren't you aware that they said this horrible thing about Charlie Kirk and this and that? It has nothing to do with the game. But that's what they'll say. They'll say, I'm not going to come. I'm not going to support this game. I'm not going to watch this game. And I'm going to get low views, and people won't support, and they'll be all angry with me. Okay?
All right. Then they're not your fans, and you should move on positively and placate to the people that actually like you and support you. That's the fix there. We never had to bring this up. We never had to know that this bothered DSP to the capacity that it does. Because moving forward, I hope everybody presents every single political problem with every single video game to DSP and constantly makes him question every game he plays now. And that's the world that he's now built for himself regarding his detractors and the Snortex, because he wanted to, clue everybody in that he's pissed.
Imagine the flip side. I say, all right, we're just going to skip Ghost of Yotei. what's going to happen? People are going to come to the stream. Why aren't you playing Ghost of Yote? It's one of the best games of the year. What are you, some kind of a political sellout just because people on the internet complain? You played Hogwarts Legacy, but now you're not going to play Ghost of Yote. You're a sellout. You're a shill. You're a piece of shit, Phil. How could you? Woo! Woo! I just want to play games. That's it. I want to have fun and play games. I keep telling you guys, what I want to do is I want to unplug from reality. I want to unplug from all of the drama that is going on in real life.
Right.
And I want to have fun with you guys.
Okay, but then how does the begging play into that? What part of unplugging is talking about your real life finances and how you don't know how you're going to buy groceries or whatever? Which part of that is unplugging so that I can write that down on my notes for future use? I just need a better understanding.
I just want to enjoy games at face value. I want my streams to be a place where when you're feeling drama, you can come and be like, oh, if I come to Phil's stream, we can forget about all that crap that's going on outside. Instead, we're just going to focus on the game. We're going to have fun with him. He's going to fail at the game or do good at the game. We're going to laugh. We're going to have some good camaraderie, go back and forth. It's going to be a great stream. Nice social interactions. It's going to be great. I don't have to worry about that shit. Now, I came to his stream and everyone was just talking about politics the whole stream. It was yelling. I don't want that. Tonight we have a goal of...
Then don't allow that in your chat. Again, it's just such a nothing segment.
$150 that we want to reach by the end of the stream to end on a strong note. And when we hit $150, I'm going to take off this shirt because people are saying this shirt is bothering them. So I said, all right, I'll take the shirt off. I don't care. If it really bothers you that much, I'll remove the shirt. But only if we hit the goal. If not, I'm keeping it on to annoy you. Okay?
He's talking so fucking fast. Yeah. Okay, to be fair, Gout, he is at 1 1/4 speed. This is not authentic DSP speed. We'd be here all fucking day. And in all honesty, we're going to be running long anyway. So he is sped up a little bit. That is my bad.
A 10 subs goal over on Kick. 10 subs. Because there's new goals on Kick, and I had 25 sub goal for the last 3 days. And we got 15. Now we just got 3 more. All right? So we need 7 more tonight. If we get 7 more subs, I'll also take the shirt off early.
He should have just kept his mouth shut about Charlie Kirk, period. It never needed to be brought into DSP content, period. And he's now opened the floodgates, I think.
We won't even wait.
By even acknowledging it and saying the name, he has invoked. Shout out, formerly Chuck, for the 5, saying the old man from that radio station was right about flexing. Am I missing a joke? Is it over? It's over my head. I'm like the Fray in this way. I'm in over my head on this one.
For 150. So we get 7 subs right now on Kick.
Thank you for the 5. If somebody wants to pig-explain the joke to me.
See this. I'm just doing this on the fly because people were complaining about the shirt today. So I was like, I'll take it off.
It's a WPIG joke. Okay, look, some of us have jobs and can't tune into ALT every day. Okay, I cannot be expected to keep up with every UNC reference that ALT pulls from the ether. Okay, I would say that to his face if he was here. Of course, we love ALT. Big ups, big ups.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't
get the joke. So that's what we're doing tonight on the channel. I'll be here till roughly 9:30ish Pacific time, and then I'm gonna get out of here and get ready for my days off. Okay.
ESP does literally flex his arm in this segment. This is true. I did get that part.
Thank you, Mr. Only a buck. Thanks. Can we get to a third of the goal right now? We're 35. Let's get to 50.
Oh, you meant actually ALT, the old man from the radio station. Oh, I thought there was an actual radio station. I'm dented. That's me. Okay. We are actually talking about ALT. All right.
How about this? Someone drop 3 subs right now over on Kick. Get us down to only 4 subs.
My bad.
We'll be right in line for me to remove this shirt. Are you guys excited? Let's go. Let's get it going. So with those 3 subs from your future stepdad, that means we only have 4 more subs to go. Let me confirm that. I think we only have 4 more subs to go to hit our goal. Yeah, we're at 21 out of 25. 4 more subs on Kick, and we've hit the goal. And I will remove
a lot of
my
begging
overshirt,
here,
which bothers you.
We're looking to take the shirt off, of course. Very important.
Thanks to those who are sending kicks on Kick. There's quite a few people who are sending like single kick here and there. I can't shout those out. I'm only shouting out 100 or more in one go, but I will just say thank you to those who are doing it. I see you got Willie Boyd is doing it, and a few others, right? Buckwell's doing it. There you go. Your future stepdad.
Thanks, Buckwell. Confirmation to me, by the way, that like Buckwell is in this weird, like semi-troll, dent head. Well, he's always dented because he gives DSP money, period. But like, you get what I'm saying. Like, he asks questions that are kind of trolly, like the difference between the pre-stream and the lead-up. But he's also giving DSP American Truck Simulator fucking DLCs while he's in the hospital. Like, absolutely cucked out of his goddamn gourd, and incredibly pathetic individual, obviously. But I don't know why they stand the way they stand.
It says, can you actually track the kicks, or do larger kicks get lost in the singles? Basically, here's the deal. At the end of every stream, Kick tallies up how many kicks you received for that stream, and they load that into your revenue page. So I have a category now that says, they actually call it, I think they call it channel engagement. That's what they're calling it. So I got to look at that. And
Yeah,
it tells
watching
me how many I
DSP
received.
on dialysis.
So as of right
exactly.
now, if this number
There's
is
a real
accurate,
lore on Cuck.
which I don't know if it is or not, but according to Kick, on this very stream, I received 321 kicks. That's what it says right now. 321. That could be off by a few. I'm not sure how quick it updates, but it says 321 as of right now. It says that all of yesterday, I received 2,405 kicks.
Great. Yeah. Thanks for the information, boss. Glad our business is doing so well.
No, there's no way to track moral support because moral support is just that. It's esoteric and it is emotional. It is not actually financial or concrete, and therefore.
Did he say esoteric?
No, there's no way to track moral support because moral support is just that. It's esoteric and
it's esoteric. Isn't that word spelt with a fucking E?
It is emotional. It is not actually financial or concrete, and therefore it can't be measured. Moral support can never be measured. It's completely immeasurable. It's a feeling, right? It makes you feel good, but you can't go buy groceries with it. You can't pay your bills with it, your mortgage.
Yeah, esoteric sounds like a sentence, no?
Gas in your car with moral support. Therefore, they can't track it. That's how it works. Now, wait a minute. Hold on a second. No, I got to curtail all questions. You ready?
Hey, esoteric.
I've been on stream for over 40 minutes, almost 50 minutes. Guys, what is going on with support? Where are we right now with support? Let's check.
I don't know. Let's check the leaderboard. It's at the top.
55.
Gotta wait for it to scroll by, of course, because it's not just left up at the top, so it's legible at all times.
$5. Guys,
oh, okay.
I made the deal. I said, if we hit the goal, or if we got 10 subs, I would take the shirt off. And we're not there yet. What is going on? Let's go right now. Let's get some subs. Let's get 4 more subs on Kick. Let's get some tips. Let's get some super chats. Let's get a big bomb of gifted memberships. Drop those kicks in the chat right now over on Kick. Just take those kicks you have in your hand, just spill them all over the floor.
Dropping kicks in the chat. Big ups, kicks.
I'll come in like Luigi's Mansion with the vacuum, and I'll just suck them up. Suck them up. It's all good.
Right reference, Grandpa. All the cool kids remember Luigi's Mansion, obviously, but definitely an ever so dated reference at this point. Who even remembers the original Luigi's Mansion?
Best friend just gifted 4 subs on Kick. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Right there. We smashed the goal. Look at this. We smashed the goal. Thanks for these.
Jesus is asking, what's the purple kicks? The purple kicks is berry flavor. You're at the store and you're looking to pick up the purple kicks. Sorry.
Dist. Cool. Thank you to Phil's best friend. We smashed the goal. There was a big celebration on the screen, too. That was pretty cool.
I missed it.
All right, so let's
let's
get that on the leaderboard.
Must not have been that big because I didn't see it. I was looking at the screen. I don't have
Phil's
anywhere else
best
to
friend, had you already
look.
Gifted some? Did you already gift one? So this would be 5 total for the night, I believe. I think so, right? All right. So now we are halfway to our goal for the night. Thank you for that. And now, as promised, the shirt comes off.
Great.
Yes. Very exciting. This.
What was the fucking point of folding the t-shirt up if we're just gonna fucking wind up balling it up and throwing it on the desk? What was the point? It's little things like that that honestly piss me off about not only DSP but people like on an individual basis. What the fuck were you doing?
Hell, I accidentally started playing clips. Hold on.
A waste of fucking time.
Dude, I threw the shirt over here on my keyboard and it started playing clips. It just started playing random clips. What the hell? All right, let's put this over here then. Let's try not to play any clips tonight. There we go. All right. All right. I'm in an undershirt. Can you believe it? DSP is here tonight live on stream in an undershirt. I'm not actually wearing an overshirt.
No way.
Oh my God. It's totally not like I used to do this all the time. It's just a t-shirt. You know, I used to wear t-shirts like constantly on stream, but you know, people act like it's some big deal.
It's because he makes such a big deal about his clothing. Like, that's the only reason people entertain the clothing conversation at all. It's because it's one of the only topics that DSP's actually willing to discuss. For some reason, food, money, and his wardrobe are the only topics DSP's capable of talking about. Anything else, and you're gonna get fucking stonewalled into oblivion because it's all information that's far too personal. What I think should be more personal is the boob situation that he's got going on here. or as people are calling it, the moob situation, the man boob.
Oh my God. I can't believe DSP's wearing a shirt under the shirt. Wow. And now, as you can see, I didn't iron the shirt, so it's a little wrinkly. Well, that's what happens. It was only supposed to be under the shirt. It wasn't supposed to be.
And why did you offer to take it off if you're gonna cope about it?
Undershirt. You wear it under another shirt. You're not supposed to have that shirt there and this shirt here. You understand?
Also, it's no longer an undershirt if you make it if you take the overshirt off, it becomes just a shirt, by the way.
Yeah. All right. I know you guys are very excited now because I'm not wearing an overshirt. You're very excited to see me without an overshirt. Oh my God. It's been years. Actually, I just did it last Friday when we were playing Street Fighter, but it's been years since DSP didn't wear an overshirt. I can't believe that he's not wearing an overshirt tonight. Oh.
Good God, no, says his moobs point outward. Got moobs like Biggie Small's eyes. That's fucking, what a crazy thing to say. It's not inaccurate. But how did you even formulate?
My God, it's so exciting. Clip the
disrespectful to the great king Biggie Smalls, of course.
This stream immediately. Clip it like crazy. Post it all over the internet. Phil's not wearing an overshirt.
Yo, that's such an embarrassing flex. Can we bring that back? Run that shit back on my keyboard.
Clip this stream immediately. Clip it like crazy. Post it all over the internet. Phil's.
Look at that. No tone, no definition, none at all.
Not wearing an overshirt. Oh my God, this is so, people are so excited. Dude, the chat is going crazy. People are actually legit excited. This is ridiculous.
Well, that's the most excitement and energy he's shown on a stream in ages. Like, he does these pop-offs, ironically, right? Because he thinks that it's some sort of like Clown World style joke that like I said is ironic, and it gets a legitimate pop off from his audience because it's the only time he actually seems excited to do anything. The faux enthusiasm that he displays here is legitimately the most exciting content you're gonna get out of him. The rest of it is gonna be dog shit drivel or detractor content.
Oh, you guys are easily entertained. That's for sure. You are easily entertained. If you think that me not wearing an overshirt is an exciting event, wow.
Wow.
I mean, keep in mind, I used to not wear an overshirt all the time. I just wore t-shirts. But I also was much fatter and not working out, so I looked a lot different. Like now, I've actually slimmed down. As you can see, I've slimmed way down. I've actually have muscle tone now because I'm actually working.
No, that's not the same thing. Slimmed way down and have muscle tone they're not intrinsically linked together in any capacity. Stop that.
I'm working out. Very exciting. Very, very exciting. What is my favorite meal that I think my wife makes well? I would say probably.
Yeah, he is scrawny and fat. He's skinny fat. He has no actual muscle. Every ounce of weight he has on him is fat. None of it is toned. None of it is actually usable in a meaningful way to actually do things. But he has lost weight in the form that he is atrophying. Absolutely.
All the meals she makes today, I would probably say my favorite is, well, here's the thing. If you're talking about something that she actually has made herself, probably the Japanese style curry that she makes. This is dark meat chicken, baby carrots, sliced up and sauteed golden golden potatoes, okay? She actually buys this curry mix, but she makes this curry out of the curry mix with other things she adds. And then you mix it all together, saute it, cook it all together, and you have it over white rice. I really, really like that. You got your veggies, so you got your starch, you got your protein, you got everything that you need in a good, well-rounded meal. No cheese, no greasy oil and extra fats. It's really, really good. If you're talking about things that...
Well, I remember in science class when we suspended a potato over water with toothpicks. That's his build. No, I never did that. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Is that something that people were doing? Let me know if you did that in school, because I've never heard of that. And Crustpunk said his skin is drooping. He's drooping! He's suffering a stroke!
She doesn't necessarily make, but she cooks. Of course, I'm a sucker for Italian food, so pasta. Whenever she makes some kind of a pasta, with Italian with a nice marinara and some meat, but that's all pre-made. You buy the meatballs, you buy the sausage, you buy the pasta. It's not like she's making that fresh, right?
I mean, she could, if she wanted to.
All right, so Cot Appreciator says, do you like food? Do you like drinks? Do you like movies? Do you like games? Do you like sports? Do you like animals? What's your favorite color? No. Thank you for the question.
All right. So like a genuine, authentic, real style question you could ask a normal person and they would have actual real style answers for all of those. They would be short, sweet, and insightful. Yeah, we're just not gonna even entertain that. You gotta ask about his muscles, I guess. You gotta tell him to take his clothes off. That's how you get real interaction with the guy, is you tell him to take his clothes off. Asking his favorite color, whether or not he enjoys sports, unacceptable. Talk about his feet.
Okay.
Ask him about his socks.
Yes, perhaps one day it would be nice to go to Japan with my wife for vacation. I don't know if we ever will be able to. It would be nice to be able to. And one day to do that, I would really like that, I think, but probably not in the cards for the short term. Someone took $2 and says, seeing you interact with other streamers is really fun. Any chance of that happening in the future? Listen, I've actually said this, and I'll reiterate it, okay? I am open to doing collabs with other streamers.
Paul Turner was behind on this stream. Gotcha, bitch. I knew it. I could tell. I could feel it.
Okay? As long as the topic or the subject or the appearance is about having fun, being cool with each other. You know what I'm saying? And or it could be a topic that I have something to add to or something like that.
So he would never interact with anybody then, because he doesn't have anything to add. We've seen enough DSP collaborations to know that he has nothing of insight to garner in any conversation. There is nothing to get out of what he has to say. He's either already said it or it's wrong. Thank you, Wesley H, for the 5, saying this and all his content exists to mock his audience and make them pay for it. And the Dents deserve it. It's true. The Dents do deserve it. I just wish that the rest of the world didn't have to suffer to some extent. You know, I wish that it could be hidden to the Dents themselves as a personal punishment. This is where we live. Thank you, Wesley H, for the 5.
I'm okay with it. But the last thing that I want to do is be involved with drama. And it seems like almost every single time anyone wants involvement with me, it's for drama purposes, right? They want to talk about something from my past that's dramatic, that has nothing to do with today anymore. Or something that, bring up the dead horse that we beat in 20, 30 times and I don't want to talk about anymore in my content.
That's WWE Champions, by the way. We don't want to name drop it specifically, but it's WWE Champions, or maybe even more generally, mobile games in general. But yes, DSP's only value is in drama, is in his kerfuffles, as I'm going to call them now, that he's experienced over his lengthy legacy.
Right? Some bullshit. Why doesn't anyone ask me about the history of YouTube and being a YouTuber for 17 years? Why doesn't anyone ask me about...
Because you've been a bad YouTuber for 17 years. Because you haven't been popular in ages, and you don't know how to play the game nor be entertaining.
The history of the Street Fighter community and what it was like growing up in grassroots Street Fighter, traveling to tournaments, organizing them, playing in them, and all of that.
Why would you ask the most hated person in one of the most hated people in the community what it was like to be a part of the community? Why would you? They wouldn't know. They were ostracized. They were demonized. They were left out of all of the cool kids clubs and all of the cool conversations happening. One would you ask that person? It's like asking the nerd that got bullied what 6th grade was like. You're gonna get the most one-sided viewpoint possible, and it's not gonna actually be useful because you're not gonna find yourself in that situation because you're better than that.
Why does anyone ask me about anything that I have something to add to? Instead, it's, hey, what about mobile games? What about 15 years ago? When you said this particular insulting racial thing on stream, right? Or you want to ask me insulting personal things about people that have nothing to do with my content, like my family members and shit? No. Okay? The only reason people usually ask me into their content is because they want to put me behind a shooting line and just take pot shots at me for drama and have me try to defend myself.
I love that gun pose. Directly center of the chest. I want to see it one more time even. That's how much I love it.
The only reason people usually ask
the miming of shooting straight from the dead center of your chest is hilarious
to their content is because they want to put me behind a shooting line and just take pot shots at me for drama and have me try to defend myself. No, there's nothing to defend. I've done nothing. I literally have explained and answered.
Also, behind the shooting line would imply that you're not being shot at. Usually you go in front of the shooting line.
Answered everything you ever wanted to know. There's nothing else you need to know. Everything is good. Okay? That's why if you notice, staying out of the drama has allowed me to have a lot of fun this year. This year, I got out of all of the drama, right?
Well, but didn't we just beef with LTG not that long ago? What?
I completely...
How long ago was the King Snake arc? Wait, actually, how long ago was that? I don't remember. You know how time moves in the Snortex, incredibly fast and incredibly slow all at the same time.
Moved myself from the dramatic equation on purpose. It was my choice to do so. They wanted me in that drama. Man, they were upset.
Yeah, I thought it was in March. I actually thought that it was in March. It was months ago that we did the King Snake arc. I thought I was tripping.
They were so upset when
I'm sorry to be yelling.
pulled myself out of said drama. They were
obnoxious.
very upset with me. Okay, but I got out of the drama. I said, no, I'm out. I'm done now. Okay, I have nothing to do
I'm
with it.
out. Just when you think you're out, DSP, they pull you back in. You would think, being Italian, he would understand that. He would feel the Godfather lines on like an intrinsic level. But
And what's happened? Great streams, great fun, awesome support. Everything's good. I have nothing to complain about. Honestly, things are good right now. So why in the holy hell would I want to now say, hey, want to appear on this show and it's going to be all about drama? No, stupid. I don't. Don't you get it? For me, it's different.
Oh,
There's a lot of people out there on the
What?
internet. The only way that they can get any kind of attention or support from anyone is to cause drama. I'm actually the opposite. You understand?
uh-huh.
The more that I stay away from it and I focus on gaming and positivity and fun variety with my audience, that's when I thrive.
But wasn't his most successful period in a very long time the second that he started collaborating with Kino Casino and doing drama content? Wasn't that when he received the most money he's ever received for a single stream? And that's the goal that he's set forth for every marathon since then, was to try and make the same amount of money. What is this cope? Like, I just don't know how you can genuinely say this with a straight face and like mean it, which he does. He means this shit, when you know that that's not the truth. That's not the reality. Thank you, Wesley H, for the 5, saying he's saying all of this, but when Phil does content, other people's channels he doesn't promote. Sorry. Let me. But when Phil does content on other people's channels, he doesn't promote it unless it's Kino Casino. See side scrollers and Cultaholic streams. Absolutely, I agree. 100%. Or honestly, Ptolomeo was the same way. That was on his own. Never mind. Ignore that. You're right, though.
That's when I get people who come by and support. Why would I want to involve myself with drama? Right? The truth is, I got out of the rut I was in last year. I was stuck in this rut.
He doesn't want to give people the DSP rub, I guess, which is a very weird thing to like value, considering how valueless it is.
I got out of it. I'm good now. I got a brand new setup. I got awesome support from both 2 different streaming services. I got people watching and supporting every single day. People are asking, when are you going to play this game? When are you going to do this? When are you going to do this? They want me to do a million things at once. I'm in demand to do these things, right? So I'm happy. Why then do I say, well, let's get out of that success and go back to drama? So that way I'll piss off my regular viewers who support me. I'll just create more nonsense, toxic things about me on the internet. No.
He does that anyway, though. Even without trying to engage in drama, he will always continue to make more content that is going to be turned toxic and negative towards him. This is a moot point that if he genuinely listened to, he would never make content again a day in his life. Period. That would be the end of DSP gaming.
And you know what it is this year? Do you want to know why my detractors are angry? Because I'm not giving
why?
them much anymore. Did you notice that?
On one of the weeks where he spent the most or the least amount of time live, and I feel like he gave us the most content. He had the audacity to say he doesn't give detractors any content. I have 2 full hour-length segments, courtesy of Store Hogan, thank you so much, where he is doing nothing but ranting, raving, and complaining. But he never gives us, like, all right, man, if that's the world you live in.
In my previous life, I would have told you everything going on in my life. I would have told you all about why I had to be away from streams for a week. I would have told you about everything going on with my wife and my personal life. You know what I mean? I would have documented it all. Now, there's really nothing to talk about. They are grasping at straws because it's boring. The stuff that they're trying to do to make drama, I'm not a drama guy. You know what I'm saying?
Not a drama guy.
So,
yo, thank you so much, Urban Style Individual, for the 2, saying just popping in to say, what up? You inspired me, bro. Well, I see your videos pop up in my feed. I've checked out a couple. Big ups. I see you. I see you. I appreciate the $2.
there's nothing to work with. They have to literally make shit up. And idiots bringing up certain detractors. Yes. Now tell me, out of all the things that those detractors you're bringing up say, how much of it is true and how much?
A lot of it. Which detractors are we bringing up? I'm looking for names. Oh, they said Duty. Never mind. What other detractors are we bringing up? Looking. I'm scanning. I'm looking. I only see Duty.
Of it is gross over-exaggeration, purposefully taking
What
things
the
out
fuck?
of context, completely extrapolating
Oh,
on shit
Meerkat Mob?
to say that it's something that it's not.
Who?
Probably 80%. Maybe, arguably, I make a mistake here or there. I say something stupid. I play something. I rage at a certain person in the chat that pissed me off. It's not every day. It's almost never.
But they showed the clips. Like, that's the part about DSP's code that especially doesn't ever make sense, is he says things like, well, how much of that stuff is true? And then you go and watch detractor content, and it's quite literally raw clips from DSP or Raw Phil or Snort Hogan or whatever the fuck. But it's actually just DSP content exactly how it was raw. And apparently it's a lie. That'll never make sense. And anybody with a brain can go and watch the content and see that.
Ever happening anymore. So because of that, they have to make shit up. Constantly. So I pay no attention to any of it. I'm not kidding you. I paid no attention to anything that these idiots have said or done in many, many months. It's only when you guys come to my chat that I even am aware of any of that stuff. Okay? So here's the truth. If someone said reached out to me right now and said, hey, Phil, we're being interested in having you on our show because we're going to be talking about the history of YouTube. And right now, some interesting stuff is going on with YouTube in regards to ad revenue changes, right? These videos now, they're not counting views anymore for videos that are on ad block. And being that you've been in the business for 17 years.
See, and there's already a problem there. He's already described that topic as an interesting thing going on YouTube, but I just don't think that that's the case. I feel like if you don't make content or you're not intricately involved in the behind the scenes game of YouTube with YouTube content creators, which I believe is inherently drama in and of itself, then that's not an interesting topic to talk about. Nobody actually cares if they don't fall into those categories. And that's not the audience he has nor wants to cultivate. So why are we pretending? Why did we do those segments last week or whatever? That didn't make sense then, and it doesn't make sense now.
You probably have a lot of data. You probably have a lot of interesting things you can talk about. Can you come on the show and be part of a panel, talk all about this topic? Sure. Sure. Hey, Phil, we're covering the old days of Street Fighter. We like to talk about grassroots Street Fighter, what it was like to be in arcades back in the day, the big 4 games, your history as a competitive player, and your involvement with the FGC as a tournament organizer, what it was like back then. Hey, we want the dirt on the early days of competitive Street Fighter. What was it like to be going to the early Evos and things like that? And all that. I have a wealth of knowledge. A wealth of knowledge.
Right, but nobody respects your position in the community at the time. So the knowledge you have is going to be obfuscated by the perspective you had in the moment. You are not a good person for this information. You are just not. And getting on a show that would even want to talk about those things would require them to respect him on some level, in some capacity. And nobody respects DSP. Not for gaming, not for his pre-stream, not for his Street Fighter ability, not for anything. Nobody respects DSP.
No one asks for that. It's always toxic shit. Can we talk about this dirty laundry from 10 years ago? What about this comment that you made on a stream out of context from 4 weeks ago that sounds horrible when it's out of context? What about this thing about your wife? No, fuck you. I just have no interest in you. Zero. So that's what I mean. If anyone wants to talk to me intelligently, I'm always available. But who wants to? Have you heard anyone? And the truth is, and I said this recently, I'll reiterate this, okay? I have reached out in the last year. I reached out to several different parties who I thought I would be interested in working with, whether it was gameplay, whether it was being on a show or a podcast or a panel discussion about many different topics. You'd be shocked at some of the interesting topics that I thought I could add to.
You know what? He says that as some sort of positive. That's a backhanded compliment if I've ever heard one. You would be shocked at the topics that I think that I could provide knowledge on, or however he said it. That just says that people think that you're stupid and that you might be overestimating what you actually, think you know. That's all that is.
Okay? Admittedly, sometimes you don't get any response at all. You're like, okay, they think that I'm nobody. They don't give a shit, right? But you'd actually be surprised at the amount of people who did respond.
You'd be surprised.
And the response that I got
Shout out
every
Bappa,
time
of course.
was, oh, you're serious? Because, wow, that would be an interesting piece of content, but you have to understand, dude, you are one of the most stalked people on the internet. If we do a show with you, that now means we can expect that our show, our entire cast, all the staff involved, everyone on our Discord, and everyone will be now harassed by your detractors and doxxed on Kiwi Farms. It's just like a given. Anyone who involves themselves with you get harassed, stalked, and doxxed. And we can't have that. Like, our content has to be safe for our viewers, for ourselves. We can't have our family members involved. We don't want to be involved with that.
So let's say that this is true. Let's believe DSP's narrative for a minute. What is the point of telling your audience this when you know that the detractors are watching? So everybody here, everybody all around the world that loves to mess with DSP has just gotten confirmation that you have once again limited his business. You have slowed his finances and not allowed him to make the content that he wants to make because the job that you are doing in trolling him is effective. You are doing the Lord's work out there. You're getting the job done. You're having an impact, and you should continue to do it, I guess. Not that I condone these behaviors. Some of them I do, some of them I don't. Pick it out yourself, I suppose. But like, that's all he's doing is just letting everybody know that they should continue doing it. Just continue to make his life a living hell because that's exactly what you're accomplishing.
So it's not me. It's not, oh, wow, that would be a good piece of content to involve you in it, but it's not you. It's all that vortex around you. That's what's bothering us. And we don't want to have a piece of that vortex. We don't want to be a piece of it at all. We want to stay away from the vortex. To which I'm like.
And did that happen to the people that he did collaborate with? Was Ptolemaio doxxed and all of his fans? Were the Kino Casino, well, their information's out there, but were they harassed and berated the same way? Was Cultaholic bombarded to the maximum with DSP detractors that were doing heinous and horrible things? I didn't think so. I low-key thought that the Cultaholic guys were very, very kind to DSP and deserved no hate whatsoever. But, whatever.
Well, I don't know what to say. I can't make the vortex go away.
My own
and this is
personal
also when people
opinion,
say
I
you have to
guess.
cultivate a positive community around your content. I would love to. But the problem is whenever a newcomer comes to my content and they start watching and engaging and supporting, all my trolls contact them and say, why are you supporting DSP? Why are you saying positive things about him? And then they go to their Twitter, and then they go to their Blue Sky account, and they go to their Facebook, and they go to their TikTok, and they go to their Instagram, and they go to their YouTube channel, and they go to their Twitch channel, and they harass the fuck out of them.
Right.
So I don't want nothing to do with that. Damn, I didn't know it was so serious. Watching DSP and trying to be a positive part of his community now means that I need to be harassed full-time on the internet, and then they leave. You cannot cultivate a positive community when you're surrounded by a cloud of toxic losers. And there's nothing I can do. I've given up.
You don't make a cloud of toxic losers unless that was the audience that you were cultivating. Like this is a catch-26 or whatever they call it. Like the reason that he claims he can't have positive viewers now is because he spent so long creating negative viewers beforehand and he can't get rid of them. Again, it's a demise of his own making. This is the bed that he now has to lie in. If he wanted it to be perceived as better, he should have behaved better.
Trying to get rid of them, they're never going to listen. They're never going to listen. So I just go on my merry way doing what I can. And sadly, I guess collaborations are not going to happen. I've waited for people to reach out and say, hey, would you do this with us? Would you work?
Yeah,
with us?
a catch 1651 exactly.
In the end, they just find,
you know
God,
what's up.
we're gonna get harassed again. We're gonna end up on fucking Kiwi Farm. So forget it. Let's see. Is this humility is a fantastic quality? Do you have that?
No.
To admit that you have a dream job. I'm asking as a fan who has to wake up from 6 a.m. and work a hard job till 6 p.m. daily to make ends meet. I'm no hater. Of course I have a dream job. Are you kidding me? 1,000,000%. This is my dream job. To be able to be the master of my...
So the answer is no. Not only do we not have humility enough to admit that we're not exactly where we want to be and that there was a place that could be better in the form of a job, but also this is his dream job. Come on, guys. This is the best thing ever, except for all of the times where he tells you it's nothing but grueling work that he is sorely underappreciated for doing, and that it's a constant drag on his personal life and has torn friendships apart and torn his own relationships apart. But this is the dream job, obviously.
My own destiny, because I make the rules. I decide what goes. Hold on.
Except for all of the times that the whales have determined what video games are and aren't played and what type of content we do and don't do in the form of the goals or what food we order, or you get what I'm saying.
Player animation. Right? I'm the one behind the wheel. I'm the captain of the ship. No one here to bitch at me to tell me I'm doing it wrong. Oh, you got to do a commute. You got to go to this meeting. You got to do all this fucking bullshit. I've been there. Dude, I've been there. I worked fast food.
Guy with long hair saying he thinks that the chatter means is that everyone's dream job would be to play games for a living over a 9-to-5. But if that's what they meant, I guess DSP is agreeing with them in this sense. But he's still very much lying about his feelings of how he personally feels about his dream job.
I worked retail. I worked an office job, multiple office jobs, to be honest. I've been through all that shit, and I know how bad that grind can be. Not only is it physically stressful and annoying because now you have the schedule you have to adhere to and the long hours and the commuting and all that shit, but then
hang on. ESP just said that having a real job, a real 9-to-5 is physically stressful because you have a schedule and you have to commute. This guy can't even fathom having an actual manual labor job where you are physically put on the spot to do a physical action, and that's where the physical stress could come from. That he couldn't even in his brain imagine that, so that he could give you an accurate telling here. How cool is that? How neat. Thank you, Golden Mask, for the 2, saying his dream is to be a toxic asshole. Got that. Well, of course. He makes it very obvious. And he tells it like it is. He's being honest. The most honest guy on the internet or something. And thank you, NWO News, for the 2, saying nothing that I can do versus I'm the one behind the wheel. It's really the dichotomy of man. Look, there's nothing I could do. Even if I could do something, it's not my fault. And even if it is my fault, it's not that big a deal. And if it is that big a deal, well, guess what? There's nothing I could do. Oh.
Mental take.
Thank
Which
you
no
for
one
the 2,
talks about.
NWO News.
The mental take that you work your ass off day in, day out. And do you ever feel like you're appreciated? Do you ever feel like actually someone at that company you're working for cares about what you say or do or anything? Or are you just a number on a freaking spreadsheet, and the moment that it benefits that company more, they just cut you, right? Or they reduce your hours, or they take down your pay or your benefits or your bonus or whatever it may be. Who cares? You're just an asset. Cut the asset, right? That's what it's like. I know. I've been there, and I'm sorry that that's what it's like for most people when they work. I know how insanely lucky I am to be living the dream.
It's so crazy to me he can have such a negative viewpoint of working when he did it for such a short amount of time that it's almost completely unremarkable in the history that is DSP. The amount of time that he spent in an actual job is dwarfed by such a magnitude by the amount of time that he sat on his ass doing nothing. It's almost a footnote. But he has the worst memories you'd ever hear. It's like he's 60 years old and worked hard labor his whole life. Thank you, My Epic Journey 73 for the 2, saying so he lets his wife work so that he can give it to Scopely. Yes. And you would think with all of the negative ways that he speaks about real work and actually going to a 9 to 5 and clocking in, clocking out, that he would value his money and his time here on stream more to such a way, to such a capacity that he would not subject his wife to that lifestyle. He has such a negative calling of having to go to work, but subjects his wife to it on a regular basis, basically because he's incapable of not spending all of his money. And I think that's incredibly, once again, embarrassing and pathetic. That is not what a man who operates a household and a family does. That's not the priorities of a man, if you ask me. But we are talking about a pig roach style alien, not a man.
And I'm incredibly grateful. I say it every day.
Thank you for the
I'm
2.
incredibly grateful
My
to
Epic
all
Journey.
of you who have made this dream happen, who have allowed me to do what I love truly for a living, to be here, to hang out, to enjoy games, to have fun. Look at this stream tonight. All we're doing is hanging out and talking, having a good time. And I'm being successful right now. Right now, this very moment.
Right now.
Thank you. That's a dream job, man, for sure. I have no idea how late Little Caesar stays open where I live. No clue. Speaking of which, guys, we're at 7 out of 10 goals hit for DSP Tries at Little Caesar's Philly Cheesesteak Pizza. The triple tasting of the crazy cups, I think they're called, or crazy bites, crazy cups, and some crazy bread. So we only need to hit 3 more goals, and we're at $91. We're almost to the goal for tonight.
Guys, come on.
Let's hit that goal. Let's crush it.
We gotta make the $1,500 so that I can purchase $15 worth of Little Caesars. It's absolutely imperative. Please, I can't afford it without your money.
I'm here for just under another hour. Let's crush that goal in that hour, all right? Let's hit it. Let's get it. Then we only need 2 more. They're called Crazy Puffs. Thank you. Crazy Puffs. That's actually a weird name. 2 more to go, and we'll be doing that probably early next week. Remember, I'm back on Saturday, so we could do it pretty quickly. Am I still interested in opening my own Italian restaurant? I'll never be able to afford it. I won't. There was a time when I was on an upward trajectory on YouTube where it looked like I was going to be making tons of profits every single year.
Right.
And then I overspent when I moved here. I screwed myself over financially. I'm never going to be getting back on my feet to the level where I'm making so much profit that I can open a business like that. Only if I would.
But you also can't cook. Like you're also not like pleasant to be around nor actually personable in any sort of way. Your finance game is absolute dog shit. You can't even cook a book to save your life or save you from bankruptcy rather. I mean, this is just like the prime example of one of the worst business owners that I can think of. The idea that this guy ever thought that he would be able to own a brick and mortar anything is short-sighted, I think.
In the lotto. That's about it. So it is what it is. I actually genuinely did want to do that at one point when I was younger, but I would never be able to do that now. I received a $3.50 tip. I'm going to throw you another contribution for answering me respectfully and not insulting me. Why would I insult you? I wouldn't insult anyone who's asking a genuine question.
He does it literally all of the fucking time. We're playing ignorant. Look at how soy we're playing right now. Thank you, Tony G, for the 2 saying food, money, goals. Where the fuck is the gaming? Okay, see, you guys have been misinformed. We're doing a chill with Phil segment right now. The gaming was earlier in the day. This is the not gameplay section. Similar to how we not played games during the pre-stream. Are you picking up what I'm putting down?
Absolutely not. Again, it's a misconception. People think that just because you ask me a question, it's not like you're not kissing my butt or something, that I'm going to be like mean to you. No. That's always, again, that's the people taking stuff out of context to make me look bad. That was a genuinely interesting question. What you asked me about, do I think this is a dream job and think about the other jobs that other people have? Of course it is. Like, honestly, I want you to think about this. Here's a follow-up to the answer because I think you deserve it, okay? With all the people on the internet who hate me, right? For what?
That's me. I'm one of those.
Whatever reason, because who even knows? I think these are unhinged people, right? With all these people who hate
Fair enough, I guess.
clip me, who repost me out of context, who say nasty things,
Never out of
who say,
context.
right, awful things about me, about my family members, about everybody, right?
Right.
Why do you think it is that I continue to do this?
We already talked about this. Like, I know that it was the day before on the pre-stream. It's not necessarily set up the same way I would set this up with the clips back to back, but we just talked about it the day before because he's a stubborn asshole who has ODD and insists that every hurdle that's put in front of him must be absolutely crashed through with the brunt of his skull. That's why he's still here. That, and he has no opportunity financially anywhere else in the job market. He's completely useless in every capacity. That's the reality of it. But you would have to get through the first part to even understand the second part.
Honestly. Because I could walk away right now. I could turn off this camera and I could walk out and try to get a job. And I probably
Try, being the key word, try to get a job.
end up working 2-3 shitty jobs to keep things going and make ends meet and pay for this house. But I could do it, right? So why wouldn't I do that? Why do I put up with the online harassment, with the stress, in and out every day, all the awful things said about me on the internet? There's 2 good reasons why, all right? Number 1, because this is my dream job. I would like to do this for as long as I possibly can and make a living doing it as long as I can. And I want to be the person, the day that I decide to retire and hang it up and say I'm never streaming again, that I say, it's my choice. I now officially retire. Good night, everyone, and thank you for an amazing run.
So his first reason is inherently ego-driven. It's entirely in the vein of vanity, which is that's not a positive thing. That is, I believe, inherently negative. That his first reason is pure ego. That's who DSP is first and foremost.
Okay? I love it. It is absolutely my passion and where I want to be for work. Okay? Really. The other factor is, and here's the other thing that no one seems to understand. Outside of the realm of the internet, all the things that people say about me on the internet don't matter. When I leave my house to go get groceries or to go somewhere with my wife, to go shopping or to go on a nice little day out, which we're going to do over the next couple of days, we're going to have some time together, which is really nice. When we go to dinner, do you think that anyone in real life outside of the realm of the internet gives 2 shits what anyone says about me on the internet?
Yeah, actually, yes, I do. And that's how you wind up getting pictures taken of you in public. That's how people wind up supposedly going to mess with your food when you do DSP Tries It. That's how you get people, calling in to businesses and trying to get your personal information, because those are real people in real life who actually don't like you, and they take that out on you in real life. Yes, whether you want to acknowledge that as being real life or not is entirely up to you. But they're real pictures of you in real life, so...
No! You wanna know why? Because my money is just as green as everybody else's. Nobody gives a shit. So why do I care if a bunch of know-nothing, do-nothing idiots who are eternally stuck online care if they like me or not and say nasty things about me? No one on the real plane of existence cares about that. No one. I have the same rights and privileges as every other person.
Not if Atlas was in charge. Guys, make sure you write me in this coming election season so that I can make sure that we strip DSP's rights all the way down to the bare minimum. It's my one and only stance I'm going to take for the presidency. That's the only issue I'm pushing on my campaign, and hopefully I can have all of your support in this capacity. Thank you very much.
So why do I don't care. Go
yes,
ahead.
Atlas World Order.
I know I have a dream job. And I'll continue to enjoy my life as much as I am, and you'll continue to be miserable on the internet trying to make fun of me, and I don't give a shit. What the hell are we supposed to do if you retire? Watch all my stuff over again. Because the truth is, there's no way that you've watched it all and you've watched it again. You have no time. I put out so much content, realistically, and this is even an exaggeration.
Not even an exaggeration, dude.
96 or 98. I can't see. I'll wait a second for it to roll by. This isn't even an exaggeration. I've been around for 17 years pumping out so much content. There's absolutely no way you have watched it all and could ever watch it all again. How would you do that? So, hey, if I retire, go watch the shit you didn't watch. Or watch your favorite stuff a second time. That's another 17 years to watch.
I really don't even know what to say about this. This person asks, what do you do if DSP retires? And he says, go watch my old shit. Like, it's just... all of that content is terrible, first and foremost. That's just an actual, low-key, a disrespectful and insulting thing to tell your viewers when you know how bad that content is. So much so that he can't even stomach to watch it himself. But like when he was watching his old DSP, playthroughs on the Retro Reacts or whatever the fuck, and he cringed at his own jokes and couldn't even stomach his own playthroughs. I just feel like telling your audience to go back and watch that is, like I said, disrespectful and incredibly insulting.
I appreciate the kind reply. I wasn't implying streaming doesn't
Super
have
pale
challenges.
DSP,
I don't
always
have ice
gone.
for a living. At least I don't have random wackos trying to destroy my life outside of work. When you have a regular 9 to 5, all you got to worry about is what takes place during that 9 to 5. And then when you're done with it, you can unplug from it and go to your life, right? With me,
And this just goes to show you how like unaware DSP is of how jobs work in the real world at this point. Like 40-hour 401k giving benefit having jobs. Very oftentimes at this point, because they are incredibly disrespectful, you do not get to just forget about work the second you clock out and unplug. Your boy was on emergency response at a job for quite a while. Okay, your boy could just be called in. That's the life that you live. You know, people that do a lot of office work, very much on call, very much have to answer emails outside of work hours. Even though it's disrespectful, he couldn't even fathom.
I do that. Don't get me wrong. When I'm done on this stream, I unplug and I'm going to have time with my wife for the next 2 days. But I got to be careful. I got to be careful that where I'm going isn't leaking, that what we're doing isn't leaking, that I don't accidentally put information about private stuff on the internet, because people actually do try to mess with me all the time. So it is that factor to it. You know what I mean? There is. But I'm happy that I'm doing what I love and I'm successful at it for as long as I've been at it. And it makes it worthwhile to go through that stress, because what I do really is an awesome job. What are you supposed to do if I die? Well, first off, I would hope that I'm not going to die anytime soon. I would really like to live a nice long life, maybe to my 80s. That would be nice, probably, preferably to my 80s. So say maybe I'm halfway through my life now. That'd be nice. Maybe not. Maybe that's wishful thinking. Maybe I'm only going to live till like 60 or 70. I don't know. But I like to live to my 80s. And the thing is, we're all going to die.
I like that 80s is where he sets his goal. Like in modern times, I feel like 80 might be on the lower end, but he has to at least some extent understand the lot he's got in life, right?
Die someday. So what happens is when I die, you forget about me and you move on, just like everybody else. I don't think you're going to find a way to voodoo resurrect me from the dead. So I guess you could just say, well, that was a good run. I enjoyed this content. On to something else.
It won't stop the detractors from trying. If you don't think necromantic rituals will be taking place regularly at the DSP gravesite, I think you're fucking wrong. I think you underestimate the hatred of the internet. They will try and resurrect your corpse and desecrate your body. There's just no way around it, man. I'm joking, of course. Please, nobody do that.
Realism. I'm a realist, okay? So in truth, I've made such a body of work, I should be making bank on the old videos. Like, no lie, in a month, with the amount that I put out there and the way that the algorithm was working, I should be making, no lie, $5,000 a month on residuals. I should. Just on what I've done up to now. I should be able to take a month off.
Dude, nobody values the slim picking of views that DSP gets on a monthly basis. It couldn't possibly be worth $5,000 to any company anywhere in the world. Absolutely not. The pittance of views that he pulls in on his legacy content that is almost completely unwatchable. Absolutely not. Again, it's just these delusions of grandeur. He thinks he's some sort of like legendary musician who needs royalty checks regularly.
Off and make $5K cold on ad revenue. Nope. Absolutely not. I have to keep working. I have to keep streaming and keep working to make new videos. If I don't, I get no views. I get no ad revenue. I get nothing. That's just how YouTube did it. I can't. They decided that's how they wanted to run their business. I can't change. You know what I'm saying? It sucks that that's the case, but that's what they decided to do. Alex,
The one time I'm gonna praise YouTube, thank God they've changed their business in such a way that DSP is not infinitely profiting at such an extent. Actually, a huge net positive. One of the few things that Google Alphabet YouTube has ever done that is a net positive on the world is making DSP suffer.
says, I once heard
Real.
someone say 100 years from now, we'll all be dead, so let's just be nice to each other now. So I try to be nice to everyone I encounter. Sounds like a great philosophy, no? You only have time to be nice to someone now because we all have limited time. To be honest, I really think that the people who treat people the worst are the people who are just like ignorant and they think that they're going to have like multiple lifetimes and they're going to live forever and all that shit.
This
And
is
the older
dented
you
as
get,
fuck.
the more you realize you need to take advantage of the time you have in a positive way. You don't have time to waste on negativity. You just don't. I'm 43 and I got to the point where I'm like, dude, I need to lose weight. I need to start eating healthy. I need to work out. I need to change my lifestyle for the better because my time is now limited.
And he doesn't see how this is not a good look for him. He doesn't understand that it's embarrassing and that he was behind in the way that in his mindset. It took him until he was 43 to understand that he needed to be taking care of his health, that he should be eating better, that he shouldn't be acting like a sissy little bitch regularly on the internet. I mean, he still does that, but he tries to rein it in, or so he claims. Like, he's just mentally so far behind everybody else on the internet and in real life that he doesn't understand that this isn't a positive. He's actually dunking on himself in in a way that no other detractor could even fathom, because you can't you can't mimic an admission like this.
I need to do the absolute best for myself and my family with every moment that I have and not waste time on any toxic negativity and stupid shit. I have to just do positive things. And that's what I'm trying to do. So I recommend that to everyone. The earlier you start with that, the better your life will be. That's the best advice I can give you. Be positive and only work on positive things as early as you possibly can, and then your life will be better. Don't focus on bringing others down. Focus on trying to bring yourself up. That should be the focus of life.
I like the uppercut style motion for bringing yourself up for whatever reason, and I think it's because he's trying to flex. I think the old man on the radio show was correct. That ALT individual, he's really trying to flex tonight with this T-shirt gimmick and a lot of clenched fist motioning. I think.
I feel a big part of the resentment you get is being an average Joe, but being successful. I hate to say it, a lot of average Joes resent success of others, whereas I think we should applaud it. You could be right, but this is what I say. When my detractors, let's be honest. Let's see if you think the same. Do you not agree? Probably the vast majority of them are just really upset that I'm successful.
No, I mean, upset that DSP is successful, yes, but only in the sense that like he doesn't deserve it, and that there are people that do. If that makes sense.
Right? That's what it is. Because if I was a schlub.
Like, he's a piece of shit scammer who lies and can't tell a straight story. He belittles people. He treats them disrespectfully. He doesn't show them the appreciation that they honestly should be getting and deserving of on his streams. That's why people hate DSP. He shouldn't be successful because he's a piece of shit. I don't really care about the money, though. I don't really care that he has finances. Who gives a shit? I just want to see him suffer because he deserves it.
If I was a loser, if I wasn't making good money, if I didn't have all of this success around me, then they wouldn't be upset. They're upset because they see me as someone they don't like, but also I'm successful. So they're jealous, but they would never say that. When you say this, oh, no, we're not jealous. We don't want to be like him. You don't? You don't want to do what you love for a living? You don't want to make good money?
What? Okay, but I don't want to do what he does for a living. Like, he thinks that everybody is jealous of him because he's this streamer that never has to work again. Not realizing that the situation that he finds himself in is almost not admirable by anybody in the world. You have to be a low-down drag on society to want to fulfill DSP shoes. Or to fit DSP shoes, to fill them, not fulfill.
You don't want to have an awesome studio setup. You don't.
No, I hope I am never in a room that looks like that. That room is disgusting. I might actually seize out a la Jade or something with that many lights flashing in a room with me. And I'm not epileptic. I feel like I would just like contract it in for some reason.
You want to be happily married. You don't want to actually be in good physical condition for the
DSP's not happily married.
first time in 20 years because you have the time and means to do it now. Like, you don't? So what do you want then from your life?
Also, that last one, I wanted to hear the whole thing back. I kind of talked over it.
You don't want to be happily married. You don't want to actually be in good physical condition for the first time in 20 years because you have the time and means to do it now.
No, I hope never in my life that I say I'm in the best, condition or health-wise, I'm in the best position for the first time in 20 years. I hope that is never anything I ever say. To be honest, I don't think that you should be in peak physical performance at 40 years old, 43 years old. That seems like a strange way to be. It seems like you made bad decisions before that.
But you don't? So what do you want then from your life? Sounds like a good life to me, and I'm living it. So yeah.
Well, that's your
I'm having a great
perspective,
time.
dumbass.
I'm curious what you think, but that, what else could it possibly be? Why do people obsess about people on the internet like they do? Right? Where are we at right now? 109. Look at that. Look at that. 41 away from the goal, and all we're doing is hanging out and having a good time tonight, right? I can literally just sit here and shoot the shit with you guys and have a nice night. Excellent. Let's keep it going. Let's hit that goal right now. Let's crush it. Let's get some subs over on Kick. How about some kicks? You guys stopped giving the kicks. What's going on? Did you drop all the kicks on the floor and now I have to vacuum them all up like Luigi? Are we done? Did you
Doing
run
the
out of
Luigi
kicks?
gimmick again.
Come on. Let's get the kick train going again. Let's get some subs. Let's get some memberships. There we go. The kick train is resumed. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get some kicks. Let's get some super chats. Let's get some tips. Let's hit the goal right now. Let's go right now. Let's all
Right
rally.
now.
Let's hit 150.
Come
Let's
on.
get to 8 out of 10. Let's set it in stone. 2 goals to go for next week when I come back on Saturday. We'll lock it in. We'll do DSP tries it. We'll eat some Philly cheesesteak pizza.
Some Philly peas steak pizza. That's actually what he said. I'm not rewinding it, but that's what he
You know what the
said.
best part is? I can get worked up and energetic on a stream, and I'm not sweating profusely like a pig.
This is not a flex. This is not a positive. You shouldn't be saying things like this. And it's going to get worse as we continue into this health segment, because I believe the final 10 minutes or so are more health segments, or is an extension of this. But this is not a flex. You shouldn't be giving out this information regularly. That before, when you were just trying to hype up interaction on the stream, that you were breaking out profusely in pig sweats. That was never a good thing, and it's not exactly a positive that that's no longer the case. It should be exactly neutral.
I can actually get hype, and I can say, let's go, guys. Let's go, everyone. Let's do it. And look, I'm not out of breath. I don't sound like I'm about to die from, asphyxiation. It's amazing, isn't it? It's a good
Nobody should be. This is not cause for celebration. This should be the normal. This should be normality. This should, holy shit, man. Embarrassing.
good feeling to finally get healthy again. It's been ages since I've been healthy. I want you guys to understand. It really has. I have felt so shitty for a long time because I worked so much and I didn't have the means to improve.
No, you didn't feel shitty because you worked. That is completely it's irrelevant. You felt shitty because you're a fat piece of shit who has bad health. You're a fat piece of shit because you eat like garbage. You don't move. It has nothing to do with your work.
Improve my life situation. You guys gave me the means to improve my life situation. So because of that, now I'm able to eat right. I'm able to get sleep. I'm able to work out. I'm able to do the things I need to do to actually be healthy.
And this is one of the worst mindsets you could have. Imagine that, DSP with a bad mindset. To think that you need monetary incentive, that the money that you make is directly correlated to the health that you have in your life, to the food that you eat, the calorie intake, the amount that you work out. It shouldn't even come into play. You should eat well, you should exercise, you should watch the things you eat simply for your health, and it has no relation whatsoever to money. That's why you're a fat, dumb piece of shit.
And now I'm feeling great. I get on stream every day and I'm energetic. I was just saying, because I just had a phone call with my parents today. I had my weekly phone call where I get caught up with
My
my
weekly
parents.
phone call.
And I said to my
because they can't be bothered to tune into my stream and listen to me rant every day.
mother, I said, Mom, I want you to know something.
I care more for DSP than his own mother does, because I'm willing to tune into the raw Phil streams and sit through DSP's drivel regularly. His own mother couldn't even stomach it. Think about that.
There. Every time that I got up, I
Go
felt
ahead.
a little pain in my back. Ooh, the creak in my legs. Ooh. Now, get up. I sit down. I get up again. I sit down. Nothing. Holy shit. It's like if you work out, you actually feel good. Which is what I was telling you guys a few months ago. We were having this.
So this is unironically that segment from ALT stream, the health style streams, where he did, he did the anyway, where he got up and was like, guys, look, I can stand up and sit down with no pain. That is unironically this segment again. He just did it for the second time, as if this is some brand new thing that he could do, like he didn't already brag on this years ago, and that this is supposed to be impressive. Again. holy shit, it really is all just a flat circle. It's nothing new under the snort style sun.
Same conversation. When you get into a rhythm where now you make being healthy part of your lifestyle, it feels good and it's not a chore anymore. You feel energetic, you feel positive, you feel pumped, you get adrenaline, you get the hormones in you that make you feel healthy, and then you want to keep that going.
You get the adrenaline and the hormones that make you feel healthy? What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
The problem is when you get into a rut where you're just stuck feeling like shit, and then you just can't get yourself out of that rut because you feel like there's no means. But this year, this one last year, you have to understand, this one last year that I've had has been life transforming for me. It has. It's been absolutely life changing for me in a very, very positive way. So thank you all for that. Really, I really, really appreciate all of you doing that for me.
Okay, like I said, the money should never have been tied to his health whatsoever. What a crazy idea to live your life with.
There you go. Detractors are sad. Said if you work out just 30 minutes a day, 3 times a week, your life expectancy increases. Absolutely correct.
Rock Low actually making a great point here. PPP saved his life then. Absolutely, 100%. If the finances are what has made DSP more healthy, eat better, start working out, feeling better physically, having more energy, if you believe all of this, then PPP is directly responsible for the health of DSP. He has saved his life. PPP and LTG, you're right. You're absolutely right. So I guess big ups to them for saving our lolcow from his imminent demise. Where would we be without him?
You're right. Anyone who watched your content for a while can attest to the fact you look the healthiest you've ever been. I agree with you.
He looks the most melted he's
videos,
ever been.
I looked like shit. I was bloated, right? I was big fat ass. Then for a while I did lose weight, but I wasn't doing it in a healthy way. I basically was like fasting and then eating unhealthy in between the fasting. I was drinking like a fish. Like seriously, I was like alcoholic levels in my early days as a YouTuber. Then you can see if you look at the history of me over the years, I kept growing again. I put it all back on, and then I did put it off. It's since I met Kat and we started living together and we started having healthy meals, my lifestyle has changed and allowed me to get healthy.
Right.
I'm sure your lovely wife Kat's cooking yourself. Yeah. Oh, I'm telling you.
And I don't want to put Panda Lee on a pedestal because she was obnoxious when she was around, but God, do I miss her now. It's so disrespectful to Panda Lee to have not had this change of heart, to not value yourself and show yourself this sort of respect when she was around, because her life could have been way better. You could have done things together. Maybe she wouldn't have been as miserable. Maybe she wouldn't have even have left if you would have just taken care of yourself and if DSP would have showed himself the level of respect that he probably deserves as a human being, if we're being as fair as possible. Like I said, just disrespectful to Panda Lee. He very clearly did not appreciate nor value her in a way that made him a better person, if that makes any sort of sense. And like I said, it's very disrespectful, personally, I think.
That's one of the major reasons why I'm healthier today, is because she is caring about me. She's seeking active, recipes and meals that are healthier than anything that I used to eat before. We try to eat things that have low or no cheese, low or no like oils. We're always trying to go for high protein and or, vitamin rich stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
And not do anything.
Because you need all that extra protein when you are clearly working out as much as DSP is, obviously. He's just putting on the gains. Look at him. Thank you, Quasar953 for the 2, saying Fresh Prince, where the video games. Well, like I said earlier, you guys don't seem to be understanding. This is a Chill with Phil segment. There are no video games. You guys are trolling, you're detracting, and I'm not going to put up with it, okay? But from here on out, for the final 10 minutes of this clip, I don't want to hear anything about video games. Come on.
That could be considered, something
Thank you
that's
for
crazy
that
unhealthy
too,
at home. We'll never have fried chicken
I
at
appreciate
home.
it.
In fact, we almost never have anything fried at home, honestly. He says, what's the longest you ever fasted? I went 9 days on nothing but juice and fruits. Juice from fruits and greens. I lost 15 pounds. By the way, I would recommend it for 3 days to anyone. It really resets your body and boosts your immunity. I have never actually gone on a formal fast, meaning I've never said, hey, it's time to fast and I'm not going to eat for several days and I'm only going to have juices and I'll get back to it after that. I've never done that, okay?
Okay.
But the thing is, and this is what I think a lot of people fail at, okay?
Okay.
I don't snack. Did you notice something? You notice I'm on stream roughly around 11:15, 11:30 every morning. Okay? Before that stream, I ate a healthy breakfast sandwich, which is egg whites, turkey sausage,
Uh-huh.
a little bit of sharp cheddar cheese sprinkled on top, and a very light English muffin, and I have a black coffee. That's my breakfast. Then I'm on stream. What do I drink all day on stream? Water. Filtered water. Am I snacking? No. If I'm hungry, here's what I do.
Of course, we have to mimic drinking water. We couldn't just say, I just drink water when I'm feeling snacky or anything. We had to mimic, we had to mime, obvious. If people don't understand what drinking water looks like.
I drink filtered water, and I hydrate myself until dinner. Dinner's around 4:30-ish every day, and I have a healthy meal with my wife that my wife makes for me. And then after dinner, I have a cup of black coffee. Then on the late stream, I jump on stream, and what do? I drink water.
We have to mime again because you didn't get it the first time.
And at night, if I'm hungry after the late stream, I'll usually have a healthy snack, whether that's a protein bar, okay? Because I eat protein bars sometimes now because I'm working out. You need protein, right?
Oh my fucking god, this guy. I eat protein bars now because I'm working out, you guys. Man, the things that I want to say for DSP to do, boy howdy.
Sometimes I'll have maybe just a light sandwich because I'm hungry.
They could be shortened to
you know,
3
try to eat enough
letters.
that day. Okay, something like that.
Requires like
Nothing-
a fiber-like instrument to be hung from the ceiling.
Something heavy. Just something
Sick
light.
of it. I'm
That's what I do,
tired,
and then I'm done. I go to
boss.
sleep. Some days I don't eat at all. So I eat dinner at 4:30. I didn't eat anything after 4:30. The next meal I ate was in the morning the next day. So that's fasting. That's my lifestyle. That's my actual lifestyle. Now, maybe
Okay.
if I was a more active person who was out there having to constantly do physical activity, I would need to eat more. But in reality, I sit on my ass all day in a chair streaming with you guys. I don't really burn that much energy. So I don't need to eat that much. You know what I'm saying? So
The first thing that I think DSP said during this segment that actually makes any sort of sense is that he should be eating less because he doesn't move very much. Real advice. I finally agree, DSP. Thank you so much.
Oh.
Very cool.
that's my lifestyle. And my lifestyle. And
Also, dinner at 4:30 is fucking crazy. That is the absolute most boomer dinner time I've ever heard in my life. I've never heard of anybody eating dinner that fucking early. That's crazy.
it works. Okay, it is working. Absolutely, right? You can see. So that's the thing, like, as long as you're not constantly snacking, and if the meals that you're eating are actual healthy meals, you're good. The problem
Actual healthy meals like frozen breakfast sandwiches, snack pizzas, and light sandwiches as a snack. Whatever a light sandwich is. Oh, and protein bars because you're working out now.
is, and this is particular with Americans, all right?
This is... Why are we always... Well, whatever.
As long as you're not constantly snacking, and if the meals that you're eating are actual healthy meals, you're good. The problem is, and this is particular with Americans, all right?
Mhm.
They snack like crazy. In between, how many streamers out there? I gotta have a snack. I gotta hold on. I gotta have a snack. I gotta have a power snack. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. Why are you doing that? Here's my power snack.
What streams is DSP watching where he's seeing people snacking? Like, what? Like, I just want to know the frame of reference for this. The only people I see regularly eating on stream are people who stream for like 10, 12 hours a day. And to think that somebody would stream for 10 or 12 hours and not eat is a crazy ass. So, I'm just confused. Yeah, he's watching Amberlyn. He must be.
Water. Hydrate myself. And then I eat in between and I'm good. Snacks are for people who are physical athletes who are doing so much exertion during the day that you need to have a constant energy source in your body to keep you going. A streamer doesn't need a snack. Ever. Ever. Just take a break, eat your healthy meal, and then come back for your stream again.
And I don't watch the, big live, IRL style streaming. But people like Kai, people like iShowSpeed that are out and about and they're doing things and they're hosting basically a show with guests and bands and they're doing activities and games. You should be eating during these things at some point, I would think. That's why I asked what the frame of reference is. What game streamer is he watching that's putting down copious amounts of food that he's specifically thinking of? And why is he attributing all Americans to these streamers that eat? I don't know how that works out either.
Don't ever need to be doing what these people are doing. And that's why they can't lose weight. That's why they can't stay healthy. That's why their metabolism is all fucked up. This is why they can't sleep right. Oh, my sleep schedule is all fucked up. That's why. So no, I've never done a formal fast.
Also, criticizing anybody else's sleep schedule while he's admitted himself to drinking himself late into the evening and doing drunk tweets. Even to this day, you can catch him on Twitter at like 2 in the morning.
But the way that I live my life, minimal eating, healthy when I eat, coffee in between, hydrate all day. That's what.
Also, drinking a coffee at 5 p.m. That's not normal behavior. Normal individuals do not drink coffee at 5 p.m. so that they can make it to 10. That's not how normal people operate. I honestly think that that's a huge red flag that DSP's health is not as up to par as he thinks that it is. Because I don't know that that's a normal thing you should have to do.
Your body wants, right? There you go. Wrigley says sugar is natural in a lot of foods, but processed foods and snacks are overloaded with it. Exactly. If you want to eat sugar, go eat an apple. Go have some grapes. Have a banana. Then you're getting vitamins and other things you need along with the sugar, and you're eating it in a natural way you're supposed to ingest it and digest it, and then it can be part of a healthy diet.
The dude, 2023 with the 2, saying exactly what I wanted to say right now as we talk about fruits having natural sweet, sugar in it and digesting it the way you're supposed to. Dr. Phil. I agree. That's what this segment is. This is the Dr. Phil segment. It's just, I want to say less authoritative, but it's really not, because DSP thinks that he knows everything.
As opposed to, oh, you want sugar? Go get a fucking Blizzard from Dairy Queen, right? Go eat a giant candy bar, a huge Twinkies and fucking cupcakes and shit. No, right? If you're craving red meat, get yourself a steak, a nice lean steak that you cook at home, you put some seasoning on it, you just grill it up quick, eat it, delicious.
Oh, the
Low
steak
fat,
god,
high in
DSP.
protein, flavor, great for you. No, I'm going to go to McDonald's, right? I'm going to go to Burger King. I'm going to go to fucking Chick-fil-A. What are you doing? You can have what you want, just eat it at home and do the healthy version.
Okay, so then what's the reason that DSP goes out on all of his days off? Why aren't they cooking at home if it's just as good, if it's healthier, and that's what he values now as a healthy style individual? Why are we still ordering DSP tries it all of the time and eating all of this fast food? What's up with that? Make that make sense, guy.
But the problem is these people get into these rhythms and they don't ever want to break out of them, right? There's no reason for anyone to be like that except...
Also, yes, craving red meat and going to Chick-fil-A. I completely slipped past me this time, but my thoughts exactly live. That didn't make any sort of sense, but whatever.
That no one has showed them the way to do it right, and they don't get into a rhythm where doing it right is part of normalcy, so it doesn't feel like work. That's the major problem with Americans, particularly. Oh, it's so hard to eat healthy. No, it's not. You just need to be shown how to do it in an easy way. And then you'll start to crave the healthy foods. You won't want them. I literally don't crave fast food. I do DSP tries it as a show for you. I don't crave the food.
Okay, I really wish I would have pulled this clip up. Do you guys remember when he was having Smash Burger again the second time? Not for the Smash Burger style tries it where he compared a bunch of them, but when he was getting like officially Smash Burger for the second time, he explicitly said that the day before, or maybe it was a couple days before because he was having difficulty hitting the goal at that time, he explicitly stated that he was craving the food because they were talking about it and he couldn't stop thinking about it. So he really wanted to do the DSP tries it. Now, unless he was lying then, he's lying right now. And I think either way, lying about this topic specifically is so fucking stupid and lame. And so up his own ass, he can go to hell.
I actually prefer eating what my wife is making me. To have this pizza, I'm going to have this pizza of Little Caesars, and I'm going to, review it fairly. But honestly, I'd probably prefer to have my wife's Japanese curry bowl over that, because it's better. It just is, and it's much healthier for me too, right?
I love all of the skipping of frames, by the way. It makes for a better experience.
Then doing the right thing becomes the norm, and it doesn't feel like work to do it anymore. The problem is breaking that bad habit and getting out of it and getting to the level where you actually feel like it's easy to do. And a lot of people just have a lot of problems with that. Yes, my wife and I are eating the same foods. The only exception, I'll tell you, half the time when I'm ordering food for DSP tries it, she doesn't eat it.
And this just can't be true. Unless when he says that they're eating the same foods, she's having like 3 times the portion size that he is. This just can't be true. You can't work a real physical job that you have to physically go to and actually stand up all day and do the job and then come home and eat the same food that DSP is, where he does nothing all day long. And you blow up like a fucking beluga whale, and he slims down like the melting skeleton that he is. Unless she has a very, very serious health condition that needs to be looked into immediately, that just can't be the case. Absolutely not.
She doesn't want it. Like, just the Taco Bell we just ate, she didn't get any Taco Bell. She doesn't want that shit. She's like, nah, I don't want that. It's bad for you. So we're eating the same dinners together.
And I think that this is a crazy lie anyway, because how many times during the setup for DSP tries it when he's ordering the food has he said, oh, I have to go downstairs and make sure I get what my wife likes. I got to go get my wife's order. Oh, I'm going to eat. I brought this up from the DoorDash guy, but I let Kat have, this half and I'm going to eat this half. How many times have we seen that? Let's not pretend like she's not eating the fucking food there, boss. We've seen it.
When I do DSP tries it, typically I'm eating the bad food and she eats something healthy, or maybe makes something herself quick at home, or maybe ordering something healthy too, like a poke bowl or something like that. She'll eat something healthier like that.
Is she making the poke bowl at home, or is she ordering that separately, DSP? Because if that's the case, if she's ordering it separately, she's still eating the fucking fast food, and you're lying, and you're coping, and you're a bitch.
I've never done this before. I hope this gets you to
Obviously,
your goal
those are
tonight.
all related.
I have a condition, and I want to show some support tonight. I don't know what your next days are going to be. Oh, my God, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm really sorry to hear that. I hope that you get better, whatever's going on with you. And I'm glad, don't go too specific. Yeah, I really hope that whatever's going on with you, that you get past it and you persevere and you feel better. All I'm going to say, and not to say that this is guaranteed, but I will tell you, the power of positivity can do wonders. To get your mind in the right place can help. It may not. I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver here, but the power of positivity is amazing.
This guy is saying he doesn't want to overpromise and underdeliver on positivity. Wow. Thank you, The Watcher, for the 220, saying she's binging in secret and he's oblivious, in my opinion. It really could be something like that. There was that character in The Sopranos. He was in charge of the one side of New York or whatever, and his wife was a big girl, and she was secretly eating candy bars while lying to him and saying that she was trying to lose weight, and he didn't personally care. But he was upset that she was trying and wasn't making progress. It was a whole thing. That could be the situation. Real talk. You never know. Yes, Ginny Sack, Johnny Sack, whatever. You know what it is. Real Sopranos enjoyers know what's up.
It can do crazy things, right? I used to be in a position where my back hurt so fucking bad on a daily basis. I thought I was going to be in debilitating pain, hobbling around for the rest of my life. And now I don't even have the back pain. It's gone. I started working out. I built up all the muscles around my back. I don't have to worry about it anymore. But that's because I stuck with it. I didn't say, oh, no, woe was me. I kept working hard and saying, hopefully one day things will get better. And I stayed positive, and it did. That's not for everyone. I want you to understand that, too, because some people hear, oh, that was an inspiration.
Yes, positivity saved his back. It wasn't the working out that he has been doing. It's not the change in his health. It's not the Seattle air. It's not the more comfortable seat and posture or anything that it could possibly be. It was the positivity, obviously. Without positivity, none of those things would have had an effect, obviously.
Story, and then it doesn't happen for you. It's not going to be for everyone, but positivity helps. Just saving that right mindset, not giving up, trying to say things are going to get better. I have to believe it. I have to work towards it. Don't fall into depression. Don't fall into that black hole. Don't. Because it's better off. This world is better with people around who are positive people and fun people, right? We're losing too many of them. We're getting too many people who are so hyper-focused on toxicity and negativity on the internet. They don't focus on the positive things around them. We need more people to focus on the positive. So I wish you the best. Whatever's going on with you, I don't know.
We need more people like DSP who don't focus on the negativity of the internet. They just do multiple, tens of minutes worth of segments every day about all of the toxicity. That's what we need. That's what real positivity looks like, obviously. Thank you, Pyroclastic, for the 5. Saying, let's be so for real. The reason he's eating better is because he has someone to cook for him. If they ever separate, it's right back to eating like shit. Yes, absolutely. He ate better when Panda Lee cooked for him. And then I believe, this is my personal belief, I have nothing to back this up, of course, that when she had to get a job because he wasn't making enough money, the amount of time that she had at home was less, and therefore they ate less healthy meals because she didn't have as much time nor energy to cook for his fat ass as well in such a way. So it went downhill, and then obviously you know how it went from there.
I really hope that you get better. I do, sincerely. Thank you. I mean, $15 tip. You really didn't have to do all this tonight, especially if you're not feeling good. I do hope that you get better. I'm sorry to hear all this. RTU is mad that I took my shirt off. It's too bad. It's too bad. So sad. RTU. Maybe one day RTU.
I thought we weren't talking about RTU anymore. Can we never talk about RTU again? The whole world would be better if we did that.
It will look like this. What do you think? Do you think RTU one day will get here? Get to this? I couldn't say it with a straight face. I couldn't hold my composure. I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. I couldn't do it, guys. I had to break out and laugh, dude.
Imagine flexing on another lolcow. And legitimately thinking that puts you above them. That's so fucking funny. Imagine shooting at the lowest common denominator and still legitimately falling just about equal with them. Embarrassing. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. That is the end of the stream. That was all of the clips. I hope you did have fun. I believe we are on for WPIG tomorrow. I don't have any information corroborating anything otherwise. So I'll hope to see you all there. I hope you had a good time today. Please enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stay safe and stay blessed. Goodbye.